Network. You can listen on sportsradio977.com as well as watch the stream from CEC TV Cable Channel 22. You can watch it in HD. And we appreciate Homes Homes, our title sponsor who builds the houses you call home. Visit homeshomes.com to see their Utah communities locations and floor plans, and single-family homes and townhomes are available at Desert Color. That's Homes Homes, HOLMES Homes.com. You're listening to the St. George Topper pregame show. Don't go topless. Get Lear shells, keyless entry, plus dozens of truck accessories, all at St. George Topper on the Boulevard in St. George. Alongside Rustin Burnside, I'm Andy Thompson, bringing you the Hurricane Tigers hosting the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Mustangs coming off their first win in program history last week against Canyon View. Hurricane Burnsy still looking for their first win of the year, but they've shown vast improvement this year, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the Tigers in the win column. Obviously, everyone knows about their winless season last year. Off to somewhat of a slow start this season, but I'll tell you what, if you talk to any of those players down on the field tonight wearing that black, wearing that white for the Hurricane Tigers, they'll tell you they believe they have a shot in this game. This is a game that is winnable for Hurricane, where they feel their offense, their defense have taken the proper steps to go out and win a football game. And so tonight, the atmosphere is going to be electric. We know that Crimson Cliffs fans travel well. Hurricane, of course, always shows up, win or lose. It's going to be a great ball game, and I'm excited.
And you credit the Crimson, always the visitor team in Region 9.
Yeah.
The fans from about August 16th to late September for coming and sitting on the surface of the sun for the first half of the game.
Especially the ones who were there for a couple hours, man.
Yes, and they're prepared. They got umbrellas. They're fired up because they got their first win ever last week, and they're hoping to get their second win against the Hurricane Tigers, who have a quarterback who's in his third-year varsity, Brock Starley, who played a little bit as a sophomore, did it all for him last year, and this year trying to go off into the sunset as senior, get a couple wins for the Hurricane Tigers. But with Hurricane, it always starts with their running game, and that starts with Ian Lambert.
It really does. Ian Lambert is crucial to what Raymond Cordova, what Clayton War, and what Brock Starley do tonight. You get Lambert rolling on the ground, it makes life that much easier. It's cliche. We say it all the time, but to establish the pass, you have to establish the run. And tonight, that will make Crimson Cliffs defense respect what Hurricane brings each and every single offensive possession, because we know they can throw the football, and we know that when the run game's going, Hurricane actually plays incredibly well. We saw it week 1 against Juab when they put up 30 points in that 41-30 loss. They scored points in a hurry in the second half, and that's because Lambert was rolling, Starley was rolling, Cordova, War, everybody, Luke Wright was rolling. The Tigers can play really good football when the running game is established.
And that's been a tradition here for a long time. They've brought back some of the old elements from when Hurricane was dominant, that big block white H to replace the tiger on the helmet. They look like it's 2011, and they're trying to get to where they can start playing more like it's 2011, and that starts with the guys that Burnsy just talked about. They're playing the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, who are 1-2 on the year. Their first year in existence, they're wearing the all-white with the blue helmets, the red, white, and blue. Their lineup right now, the cheerleaders down the sideline, the players down the goal line, getting ready for the national anthem. Let's take a 2-minute break. Back with the game after this.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius, and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel, someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars.
Wow.
But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows? Maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Yeah, that's us, Rustin Burnside, Andy Thompson, bringing you the St. George Topper pregame show live from Hurricane High School. Don't go topless. Get Lear shells, keyless entry, plus dozens of truck accessories, all at St. George Topper on the Boulevard in St. George. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff here, and it's time to give you our Camping World keys to the game for each team. Check out Camping World in St. George on Hilton Drive or online, campingworldstgeorge.com. All right, Bernsey, what are some keys for, let's start with the Hurricane Tigers tonight.
Well, starting with Hurricane, I think it really comes down to the defensive end. We talked a lot about establishing the run and how essential that was for Brock Starley and company tonight. Really them riding behind Ian Lambert and his success and his ability to run the football. But I think we got to go back to the defense. Hurricanes got some players. James Lemon is a fantastic defender. Chaden Jones, Luke Wright, these are guys we've talked about. I think it's up to them to really step up and hold Crimson Cliffs in check. We know that the Mustangs have no issue passing the football. Ammon Smith has been a guy who's hauled in a number of touchdowns. And so tonight, Hurricanes going to have to be on their toes on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Tigers are going to need to zone in because last week, giving up 35 to Snow Canyon, 41 to Juab, and then I think they only gave up 27 to Murray. But, I mean, a defensive effort along only giving up 20 points will do wonders tonight for this Tigers squad.
Hurricane looking for their first win of the year. Crimson Cliffs looking for their second win of the year. What are some keys for the Mustangs?
For the Mustangs tonight, it really comes down to running the football. Curtis Sweeten, we talked about him the first couple weeks. He was I wouldn't say he was MIA. He just struggled to get going. And then last week, exploding onto the scene, running for 2 touchdowns, catching a touchdown, even throwing a touchdown. I believe it's all going to be about establishing a run game with Curtis Sweeten. It's going to allow Chase Hansen, Ammon Smith to keep that connection strong when you're able to run the football effectively.
Captains coming out for the Hurricane Tigers and the Mustangs. For the Tigers, Ray Cordova, Brock Starley, as well as Clayton War. And we'll get you the Mustangs as well as our Sky Mountain starting lineups. Appreciate Sky Mountain bringing you the starting lineups all year long. Hit it to the sky at the beautiful Sky Mountain Golf Course in Hurricane. Schedule a tee time for tomorrow. Give them a call, 435-635-7888. Wanted to point out our Stilson Star Watch for tonight. Stilson's has been providing the central vacuums to homeowners for years in southern Utah. Check them out at stilsons.com. Sometimes talk about the X factor, but who's going to be the star tonight in this game?
Ooh, there's a lot of names that you could choose from here tonight with the Hurricane Tigers and the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. But let's go with Clayton War. Honestly, this is a guy who the first game against Juab in the season hauled in 2 touchdowns, had 77 yards, and since then he hasn't necessarily appeared in every box score. I think tonight he's primed for a big game. He's going to do good things with Brock Starley and company. I think Clayton Moore is your star to watch tonight for the Hurricane Tigers.
Clayton Moore is your Stilson star to watch in the ESPN simulcast tonight. You can listen right here on ESPN Radio. Watch the game on sportsradio977.com or on beautiful, crystal clear HD, CEC TV, who does, one of the best jobs there is. Marcus, James, Lauren, and everybody do such a great job for us here on ESPN Radio and our website with their pictures on CEC TV. We'll be watching the highlights as well at halftime and postgame, brought to you by the Community Education Channel. Stay tuned for after the game. We'll be naming our Dad's Trucking player of the game, as well as our AWP Playmaker Play of the Game in the Johnson Pediatrics postgame show. Hurricane Tigers dressed in all black, kneeling down as a team right now at about the 35-yard line, getting ready for the kickoff. The Crimson Cliffs Mustangs wearing their all white with blue helmets, kind of got a SMU feel a little bit.
Yeah.
First time I've seen them live, but with the blue helmets. And,
Why not? They're the Mustangs too, right?
That's a heck of a connection.
Yeah,
I didn't even
boom.
think about that, but they look good. They had a classy look on their new uniforms. Of course, the bad news for Crimson Cliffs is it's looking like they might not play a home game on their new field all year long because the people that they hired out to build the field kind of screwed the pooch. And last I've heard, it might be the whole year. So they're going to have to figure out where they're going to play the rest of their home games. Of course, they played last week at Dixie State University. Crimson Cliffs will be kicking right to left on your radio dial. Hurricane will start the game on offense with first-year new offensive coordinator Nick Hansen, formerly a very respected defensive coordinator in Region 9. He switched over to the offensive side of the ball. He'll be calling the game from down on the field next to Skylar Miller. And so far, so good. I mean, you talked about some of the stars that they have, some of the improvement they've made offensively, but they're moving the ball a lot more than last year.
It's going to be really a great night. These two teams, no one ever really has pegged them at the top of Region 9, and tonight as they play each other, we get a really good glimpse of where they stand talent-wise and the ability to compete in Region 9. We've talked about it all week. We've talked about it the last couple weeks. They have pieces, and they just need to put them together. Crimson Cliffs feels like they've started to with that victory last week over Canyon View, winning 38-13, and tonight Hurricane tries to put the pieces together.
And here's the boot, caught at about the 2-yard line, will be brought up, gets a good block on that right side, gets it to about the 25-yard line where the Hurricane Tigers will take over their first possession of the game against the Mustangs.
And Hurricane will start with the football. This drive is going to be incredibly telling tonight right here for Hurricane. You always want to start the game off strong. And the Tigers, led by quarterback Brock Starley, starting this drive at the 25 on their own side of the field. Of course, Hurricane looking for that first win of the season.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Split out wide is Benjamin Van Buren. And on the other side, on the far side, that's Ray Cordova, one of the best athletes on this team this year. And then in the slot is Luke Wright. Wing T formation, hand off up the middle, and that'll go to Lambert for about a 5-yard gain.
And once again, we talked about that being key, how Hurricane needs to establish the run, and they start off with a solid run by Lambert off the right side. He's going to be touching the ball a lot tonight, AT.
Yeah, powerful run. Zach Andrus had a shot at him at about the line of scrimmage. Couldn't hold on to wrangle him down. Brock Starley comes to the huddle. Hurricane, different than a lot of Region 9 teams in that they don't care about tempo. They're going to get their play call. They're going to huddle up almost after every play and let that clock wind as Starley gets under center in the wing T formation. Lone receiver out to the left. He'll hand it up the middle once again to Lambert, who's stopped right around the line of scrimmage, maybe gained 1 yard on 2nd down.
And like you said, Hurricane once again going back, huddling up. Brock Starley comes to the sideline to get the call, get direction from Coach Miller. I like it, though. It's kind of refreshing, honestly. You know, everyone's so worried about fast-paced ball and trying to hurry it up and getting to the line. I think it's important in certain moments of the game to really take your time, make sure you have the right call, give everyone a moment to think about it, and go from there.
Yeah, it's old school. It's like watching Bart Starr out there at quarterback, huddling him up, telling him what the play is, getting that wing tee, and Cordova split out to the near side this time. He's guarded by Kanohi, Way Kanohi, one of the Kanohi brothers that came over from Dixie High School. Handoff once again goes to Lambert for the 3rd straight play. He spins around, and second effort, he's going to twist his way into a 1st down.
Terrific run right there from Ian Lambert. 3 plays for this Hurricane offense, 3 touches from their star tailback, and right there it's that extra effort that's going to be key, and not only that 1st down, but really winning this football game. We talk about the Tigers and their willingness to really never give up, to come back even after the rough year they had last year, even the rough start to this year. This is a team that still has a lot of fight, and it's demonstrated even as something as simple as Ian Lambert's run.
No question who the bell cow back is on this team. Ian Lambert with 3 straight carries. He gets the first down. First and 10 from the 36-yard line. Here's the handoff. Goes up the middle. Once again to Lambert. He's stopped for a limited gain. They're going to give him about 1.5 yards on the first down run. Good fill there by the Mustangs. Zach Andrus from the end position got a hand on him.
Yeah, I see a Crimson Cliffs players right there bringing down Lambert. It's second down, second and about 9 right there. Only a 1-yard run for Lambert. But you have a feeling that Hurricanes just they're not worried, man. Just huddle up, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 4, whatever it is. It's just an easy pace, slow moving type of offensive set, and I really enjoy that.
2nd and 8 coming up for the Tigers. Luke Wright in at the wing position. And they're going to hand it up the middle. Once again to Lambert, who's going to break a tackle, go to the right side, and he gets his second Fabulous Freddy's first down of a game and his 5th straight carry.
We see the patience right there from Ian Lambert as he goes up the right side, kind of stutter steps for a minute, and then he knows exactly when to turn on the afterburners as he leaves a couple Crimson Cliffs Mustangs in the dust. Solid run, and that is why it's been 5 plays, all of them runs, and that's why you continue to pound the rock. It would have been easy to say, you know what, we're only getting 1, 2, 3 yards on these. Let's air it out, but right there, the big run shows that Hurricane being patient, sticking with it, could really end up paying off.
Yeah, Coach Alavapo over there on the sideline trying to figure out how to get number 8 down before the first down marker. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line of Crimson Cliffs. Pitch goes out wide to the right side for a decent gain. First ball carrier other than Lambert. That's Clayton War for a good gain.
Clayton War, it's essential for him to have a big game as well. We talked about him as the star to watch. And right there, another run off the right side is working for the Tigers right now.
And run. And Brock Starley, we know the capability he has of rolling out, making plays outside of the pocket. But as we said before, Coach Hansen trying to keep it simple for these guys. A lot of just down blocking, keep it simple, get to the second level, run a lot of option. Inverted wishbone now for the Hurricane Tigers. False start from the backfield, it looked like. All 3 backs moved. Maybe their first attempt to go hard count on 2 and it backfires on them. They'll go back 5 yards, make it 2nd and 10.
And if you're Crimson Cliffs right now, like, don't you have to feel antsy, a little anxious? You're like, we know a pass is coming. Like, as a player, you're thinking there's no way they run the football every single play on this drive. But I wouldn't surprise me if Hurricane did, especially where it's working thus far, especially up that right side. But if you're a Mustang player right now, you got to feel a little antsy, waiting for Starley to drop back and arrow one out.
First miscue of the night for the Tigers offensively. It'll be 2nd and 10 as Starley gets the play call from Coach Hansen. Jogs over to his huddle. Appreciate Fabulous Freddy's bringing you first downs all season long. Fuel it up, wash it down at 2 Fabulous Freddy's locations in southern Utah. 2nd and 10, Starley under center. Wing goes in motion. He hands it off to Ian Lambert, but there was a whistle, dead ball whistle. It'll stop the play. It's going to be, looks like encroachment on the defense. So they'll exchange the 5 yards. The defensive line did move a little bit. I thought they may have gotten back in time before the ball was snapped, but apparently not.
Yeah, we just barely talked about Crimson Cliffs possibly being a little anxious, a little antsy right there, and there's your perfect example.
2nd and 5 for the Tigers. Back to where they were before their penalty, and I think is a premium spot for Ian Lambert. Maybe get a carry.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Great crowd here. We're sitting right behind the student section, dressed in all black, and that's commitment when it's 103 degrees out, but they are in the shade. Kudos to Crimson Cliffs. Their faithful fans are out in full force. Pitch goes to Lambert on the left side. He's going to jump forward for a good game, but short of the sticks. It'll be 3rd down.
Another solid run. I think that's the first time we've seen Hurricane really go up the left side of the field right there with Ian Lambert. A solid tackle right there from Crimson Cliffs, number 32. But you got to think that when Starley actually attempts a pass here, this run game is demanding so much respect on this opening drive that he's going to have an opportunity to find a receiver because they're demanding the Mustangs to pay so much attention to what's going on in the Hurricane backfield.
And Lambert has been subbed out. Give him a quick breather for Britton Stratton. And the handoff goes up the middle for no gain on third down. So tough on a key third down to have Lambert out of the game, but it'll be 4th and short, and no question that's 4th down territory. This position of the field, the 41-yard line of the Mustangs.
4th and short, you're on Crimson Cliff's side of the field. Your running game has been working for the most part. You've had a couple runs where it's been 1 or 2 yards, but a good chunk of these have been 4 or 5, 6-yard pickups, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to go with it. Do we see the pass here? Or do we just see him give it to Lambert? It's been working slowly but surely.
It looks like Lambert is still out of the game, and Stratton's in there at fullback, 4th and short, and it looks like another procedure penalty potentially for the Hurricane Tigers. The left side was moving before the snap, and a devastating penalty. False start it is on 4th and short, moving back to 4th and 7 for the Tigers, and they're going to bring in the punt team.
That's tough right there. Your first drive, you eat up a good chunk of the clock. We're about 7 minutes left in the first quarter. You're moving down the field slowly but surely, and then penalties right there. The left tackle, Isaiah Martinez, jumping a little early, ends up bringing out the punt team. But if you're Hurricane, there's some things you like on that opening drive. You didn't get into the end zone. You didn't put points on the board, but you realize that all of a sudden Crimson Cliffs has to respect your run game.
Punt formation, Ray Cordova back to punt. To receive for the Mustangs, Curtis Sweeten, number 2, and Jeremy Drew. Ball will go to, that's Ammon Smith, 2 big-time playmakers for the Mustangs so far this year. He'll fair catch it at about the 12-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10, their first possession of the game.
Solid punt right there for Hurricane Crimson Cliffs with a long field to work with, a good ways to go. And now we get to see the Mustangs in this offense. Chase Hansen and company. Ammon Smith, he's been the guy we've talked about week in, week out. He's been producing for the Mustangs in big ways, has a touchdown every game except that blowout against Lehigh. And now we get to see the Mustang offense go to work.
1st and 10, motion comes from Sweeten left to right. It'll make it twins right, and they're going to do a straight quarterback run. Hansen to the right side will pick up a couple yards with a lead blocker. Second down coming up for the Mustangs.
And watching Hurricane, obviously we were treated to all running plays. Crimson Cliffs is a team not afraid to mix it up right there, starting out the game with a quarterback draw up the right side. We're going to see a good mix, I believe, from the Mustangs on their first drive of the game.
2nd and 7 for Crimson Cliffs. Straight drop back for Hansen. Tries to throw it on a little drag route to Chaden Jones. Incomplete, high and outside.
Actually looks like he was targeting Gunnar Orr on that play.
Oh, Gunnar Orr. I'm looking at the wrong team.
Gunnar Orr. And Gunnar Orr's a guy who actually was playing the quarterback position early in the year. He started the first game for Crimson Cliffs this year, and as the quarterback competitions kind of went on, Crimson Cliffs has decided to stick with Chase Hansen. They like him back there. They like him, his decision-making, his ability to make plays. That was our first pass attempt of the game, AT.
It was exciting.
That was our first pass attempt of the game, and we got 6 minutes in the first.
3rd and 7, speed option. Here comes Hansen's going to break through a couple of Hurricane Tigers. Great run for a first down by Hansen.
And a little stutter step right there from Chase Hansen really brought the play to life. Right there, he had Tucker Wright closing in on him for the Hurricane Tigers. And watch this stutter step right here. Tucker Wright's got him in his sights. A little stutter step, goes up the right side, and leaves Tucker in the dust. Solid run from Chase Hansen.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Trips left with Sweeten in the backfield with Hansen. Straight drop back, looking to the right, throws it. Back shoulder, attempted throw, incomplete. Attempted to Ammon Smith. Little miscue there offensively.
Yeah, I don't think Smith even had himself turned around by the time Hansen let that ball go. I don't know if he was necessarily feeling the pressure or not. Crimson Cliffs is a team that's given up a couple sacks this year where their quarterback has got banged up. But the offensive line seems to get better and better every single week for the Mustangs. And tonight's a solid test against Hurricanes front.
5:37 left on the Bloomington Country Club clock. 0-0 the score. First possession for the Mustangs. 2nd and 10. Pass goes out right to Sweeten, who makes the catch and goes out of bounds. Decent gain for about 6 yards.
We're seeing two very different strategies right now. Crimson Cliffs Only two run attempts, both with the quarterback. He's taken a step back, dropping, deciding if he wants to take off or throw it. We've seen 3 attempts, 2 run attempts. It's all been centered around Chase Hansen as opposed to Hurricane giving the ball continuously to Ian Lambert.
3rd and 3 for the Mustangs. Single back with Hansen. Motion right to left. That's Gunner Orr. Speed option right. Pitch goes to Sweeten, and he's going to get to the outside, get the corner, and to the sticks for another fabulous Freddy's first down. Great job on the pitch there from Hansen.
No, that pitch was fantastic. Definitely a lot of concentration on the behalf of Chase Hansen because he had Eli Pert closing in on him fast. He took a hit, ended up on the turf, and for him to still calm down, kind of compose himself and get that pitch out is fantastic because that very well could have ended up as a fumble or a sack with the way Pert was closing in.
1st and 10, power pistol formation for the Mustangs. Here comes Hansen, hands it off up the middle to Sweeten, who's wrangled up quick by that Hurricane defensive line. That's big number 44, Cole Larson, with the tackle.
Right there, Crimson Cliffs, also more of a kind of a slower moving drive. They started back on their own 12. They're up near midfield on their own 45 right now. And both of these teams eating a lot of clock. Hurricanes only had 1 possession. This is Crimson Cliffs' first possession. We have 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter as the clock continues to run. Both these teams taking at their own pace.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Right on the 45-yard line. Here comes Hansen. Rollout pass, going to dink it under short to Orr. Incomplete. Good defense there by James Lemon.
Yeah, James Lemon from the cornerback position. He's one of the bigger studs of this Hurricane defense. He's not afraid to obviously get in and break up passes and whatnot. He's a terrific cornerback, but he's also a terrific tackler, one of the leading tacklers on this Hurricane squad.
Fun to watch. Big number 77. That's Tank Gardner at the nose tackle position for the Hurricane Tigers, one of the biggest boys on this team, making it difficult for those up the middle runs. 3rd and 8. Probably anticipating pass here. Twins left. And twins to either side, I should say, with a running back in the backfield for Hansen. You're going to do a straight drop back. He's going to throw it deep. Wounded duck up in the air and intercepted. Caught by War on that right corner. And that was just a straight up throw up into the air. Incomplete. And excuse me, that's Luke Wright back there at the cornerback position who comes down with the interception.
Man, and just a little bit ago, we were talking about the concentration from Chase Hansen to get that pitch out. Right here, let's look at what Luke Wright does. This ball bobbles. He has the interception, bobbles a little bit. Ammon Smith comes back, tries to knock it out, and he still manages to hold on to it. Terrific defensive play from Luke Wright, and Hurricanes defense has got to be feeling good after that first drive.
I like the play call. They had 2 go routes going and 2 outs, and he was just going to heave it to his best receiver. Unfortunately, didn't get enough on it and got cut up there in the sky, and Luke Wright comes down with it for the first turnover of the game. 1st and 10 for the Hurricane Tigers from the 25-yard line. Straight drop back pass for Starley. He's looking for Cordova on the right side. Throws it up high and deep, but just out of the reach of the diving Cordova.
But you like that shot. It's your first play on your second drive of the game. You've ran the football nonstop. You haven't attempted to pass yet. And when you do attempt to pass, you attempt it big. You're looking to go deep down the right side with Cordova. I like the attempt, and I have a feeling we're going to see that a couple more times tonight in random spots from the Hurricane Tigers.
It felt to me like Cordova drifted a little bit on his route, was looking a little too early, and that may put him a step or 2 behind the ball and just missed him off the fingertips. But a good-looking pass there by Brock Starley, his first of the game. 2nd and 10, 0-0 on the scoreboard, 3:40 left on your Bloomington Country Club clock. 2nd and 10. Here comes Brock Starley. Pitch out wide. That's to Clayton War. He's going to get the edge, break a tackle, and get there's a late flag from the back judge, but he's going to get about 6 yards on the play.
And we have yet to see what the flag is, but a terrific block on the right side from Benjamin Van Buren really kind of cleared the way to make a move for War.
Yeah. Referees huddling up. Skylar Miller right next to him, trying to get an ear on what they're talking about. They're trying to probably just get the spot of where the penalty happened to figure out where to spot the ball. Not sure if it's going to be a holding call or not, or some kind of an illegal block. It will be a holding call on the Hurricane Tigers. Will set them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And it'll be 2nd down a repeat second down from a little bit further back. Appreciate all of our local sponsors helping us bring you Region 9 football, including Sand Hollow, bringing you the big hits this year in Region 9. Sand Hollow has 27 holes and a beautiful course. Stay in the villas or check out a show at the new Rock Bowl music venue. Check them out on Instagram or Facebook to keep up with events, or call 656-GOLF for tee time. Struggle a little bit with that one. Second and long coming up for the Hurricane Tigers from the 16-yard line. They're going to hand it off to Lambert, or excuse me, that's Stratton to the right side. And he's going to get a decent gain, but a flag in the backfield right away, right after they snapped it. And it looks like maybe more problems for this offense of the Tigers.
It looked like Clayton Moore got somewhat of a head start on that play before the snap. And if you're the Tigers right now, coming off that Luke Wright interception, playing fantastic defense, your offense moved well on the first drive, but penalty after penalty really starting to back you up. Hurricane deep in their own territory.
Yeah, an illegal shift on the Tigers when the back moved just a little bit early. Second and forever coming up for the Tigers from the 11-yard line now. Been mostly run, just seen one pass tonight so far from Brock Starley. Second and long. Handoff goes up the middle to Stratton, who's going to break through the second level of the defense. He's past the first line marker, past half field, and he's going to get inside Mustang territory to about the 30, 40-yard line. And a biggest play of the night for the Tigers. What a run.
And Corbin Cuff finally brings him down at that 40. But, I mean, just the ability right there for Stratton to turn it on. He bursts through the hole, covers up the football well. Watch it right here on our replay. Gets up the left side, breaks a tackle, and then it's off to the races side by side with Cuff till he ends up into Mustang territory. And if you're the Tigers, you love that. All of a sudden you feel like you're pressured to pass the football with a handful of false start penalties. You're moving back. You feel kind of tempted to maybe go away from that game plan of running. You don't, and it pays off in a big way.
Fabulous Freddy's first down. Tigers are on the Mustangs 40-yard line. First and 10, 0-0 the score, 2:46 left in the first quarter. Rollout pass for Starley, who's looking down the field. Lofts one, complete to War. Beautiful touch. War's going to cut back left. He's going to dive into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
What a fantastic play. Clayton Moore able to get wide open, but you got to like how long Brock Starley held onto that football as he rolled out to the right. He had a couple Mustangs in hot pursuit, specifically Sagapolu, who was right behind him, and he kind of waits it out, and delivers the well-timed ball to Clayton Moore, who makes a move at the end. Hurricane up 6-0 early on.
Beautiful pass. Took a lot off it. Touch pass. War was wide open. He had a lot of momentum moving right, but threw it with a ton of touch. And the Hurricane Tigers have the early 6-0 lead. They come out with their offense on the field. Starley under center in their regular formation, except with double tight ends. They're going to motion War, hand it off to Lambert. Up the middle. He's going to walk into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. On your scoreboard, 8-0. Hurricane Tigers lead with 2:31 left in the first quarter as we see the replay for our TV audience. Great fake there by Starley. Rolls out, looking down the field, finally spots War and just lofts it to him. Beautiful cotton candy pass as War catches it. Cuts back, gets a little block there from his wide receiver, Ray Cordova. Dives into the end zone. Hurricane Tigers with the lead. We're going to take a 30-second break. Back with more Region 9 action right here on ESPN Radio.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
Welcome back. Hurricane High School. Tigers lead here in the first quarter, 8-0, 2:31 on the clock. Big drive from, it started very poorly They were back in the shadow of their own end zone. Got a huge run from Britton Stratton to get him across midfield, and then a beautiful pass from Starley to War for the touchdown, and Tigers lead.
And real quick, I just want to point out the importance of Luke Wright in all of this. Luke Wright, cornerback, intercepting Chase Hansen's attempt to Ammon Smith. And then on that last play, as War ran into the end zone, he threw a pivotal block, pile drove his defender into the ground, which allowed War to get free and get into the end zone.
Here's the kick from Cordova. Line drive kick fielded by the Mustangs. That's Malachi Keanohi, one of their best athletes. He's going to break through, get to about the 45-yard line, brought down by the kicker, and showing off a little speed there, Keanohi.
Yeah, Keanohi does a great job of really not panicking right here. We've had a couple moments throughout the night where we've seen Luke Wright and Chase Hansen perform in moments where many athletes would mess up. And right there, he kind of bobbles the kickoff, lets it roll around for a little bit before he finally gets on top of it and ends up with a decent return.
1st and 10 coming up for the Mustangs from the 46-yard line. They'll start trips to the far side. Davin Adams in at receiver on the near side. They'll motion Sweeten right to left. Shotgun pass, looking for the quick out. Throws it to the slant. Incomplete, intended for Ammon Smith, off his hands.
Yeah, terrific pass rush right there from the Hurricane Tigers. Cole Larson really getting into it, getting into the backfield. And they're starting to make Hansen look a little uncomfortable. Tigers bringing a lot of pressure early on in this ball game as they are up 8-0.
Hansen gets the play call on the sideline. He'll jog over to his huddle. You're right. Both of these teams take their time on the offensive side of the ball. And it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 46-yard line. 2:19 left on the Bloomington Country Club scoreboard. Hansen, you're going to throw it deep. He's got a receiver. It's Curtis Sweeten. It's caught, and he got past everybody. He's going to jog into the end zone for the Mustangs touchdown.
Man, and you got to give credit right here to Mustang quarterback Chase Hansen. You go from throwing a wounded duck interception to Luke Wright, and then all of a sudden you come back and answer with a perfectly placed pass right into the hands of Curtis Sweeten, streaking up the right sideline. That was a perfect pass, a perfect grab, and really, if you're a Crimson Cliffs fan, that was a perfect touchdown.
And out of nowhere, Sweeten can line up in the slot at the running back position. He runs a little wheel route, gets past the defense in one-on-one coverage, and a beautiful spiral pass right to his numbers for an easy catch and score for the Mustangs. And they got a field goal kicker, so they're going to kick the PAT, and it'll be up and good. And that's Ryan Woolley, the kicker. And here's a replay for our TV audience of the score. The beautiful touchdown pass from Hansen to Sweeten. And 7-8 now. Hurricane Tigers keep the lead because they went for 2 on their first possession. There's the heave from Hansen. And Sweeten reels it in as he gets past Ian Lambert for the touchdown. We'll take a 45-second break. Back with more first half action from Hurricane High School on your Region 9 Radio Network.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back to the Holmes game of the week. Check out holmeshomes.com, Holmes, homes.com. Building some beautiful, unique homes over at Desert Color off the Sun River exit. You head towards the airport. Go check it out. It's worth a visit. They got beautiful plans out there. They've been building since 1890. A family tradition is Holmes, and they're bringing you the triple cast on sportsradio977.com, also on CEC TV. Clayton War will return it for the Tigers. He'll get it up past the 25-yard line. And 7-8 the score. Tigers lead, but what a play to end that past possession of the Mustangs. Hansen to Sweeten for a big-time score. And now the Tigers looking to respond here in their third possession.
That's what you love to see from a quarterback in Chase Hansen, and ultimately why he ended up winning the starting job, regardless of making a mistake with that interception. Comes back, perfectly placed ball, and now it's up to Brock Starley and company to answer back. And we've seen a couple well-placed, well-thrown balls from Starley, especially that touchdown throw to Clayton Moore. Had a good look to Raymond Cordova. Hurricane may be willing to open up with a lot more passing.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Wing T formation. Starley under center. Straight drop back. He's looking to pass it up to Cordova. He's going to throw kind of a back shoulder fade, but well short of the intended receiver. Cordova went too long. Incomplete. 2nd down.
And we talk a little bit about how maybe this allows Hurricane to open up the passing game, but I don't think you should be too willing to give up on the run game already. It worked incredibly well on that first drive. We've seen it work even with when penalties pushed it back. Stratton's been terrific running the ball. Lambert's been terrific running the ball. And it's 8-7 right now. You have the lead. There's no reason to give up on the run game yet, and I don't think the Tigers will.
Play-by-play tonight brought to you by Intermountain Acceleration. Stay tuned for the Intermountain Acceleration inspirational moment of the night in our wrap-up show. 2nd and 10. Starley hands it off up the middle. Nowhere to go for the fullback. Brought down by the big fella up the middle by the Mustangs. Great defensive play there by the Mustangs.
Yeah, Sagapolu was the first one in the backfield. He caused contact first, and although he didn't end up with the final tackle, he slowed up the runner enough for a horde of Mustangs to get into the Tiger backfield.
3rd and 14, or 3rd and 13 coming up for the Tigers. Not their optimal down and distance with their 3-back set. There's Sagapolu just eaten alive. That's Stratton, the fullback. And then a gang of Mustangs bring him down for the loss. 3rd down, handoff goes up the middle, and they're just going to run it into the line one more time and their own side of the field. And look to kick it back to the Mustangs. After the 1st down throw, pretty conservative play calling for 2nd and 3rd down for Coach Hansen.
Well, I did say you don't want to give up on that game plan yet. And for the Tigers, we know it's running the football. A couple times you're going to have to live with drives that eventually stall out. What matters is you really stick with what your team knows and what they're comfortable with. And for the Tigers, that's giving the ball to Lambert. That's giving the ball to Stratton, to War, making these guys play. They are their playmakers. And we're going to see a lot more running tonight from the Tigers.
Here's the punt, fielded by Smith. We'll get it past midfield into Hurricane Tiger territory. Decent punt by Cordova. Not a booming kick. On your one last scoreboard, Tigers lead 8-7 with 29 seconds left on the clock.
And we talked about Coach Alafapo and really Crimson Cliff's ability to make necessary changes, to make the proper adjustments. And we're kind of seeing that tonight, right? Hurricane starts the game out with a solid drive. We're running the footballs, working effectively. Crimson Cliff seemingly adapts and holds Hurricane to only three downs on that last possession, and now has the ball in good field position already at the Hurricane 48.
Twins to either side. Pass goes out to Orr from Hansen. Incomplete off the hands of Orr. Incomplete.
We've seen Hansen look Gunnar Orr's way a couple times tonight. He has yet to hook up with number 5. That pass just a little too high for Orr to haul in.
2nd and 10 coming up. I think size-wise in the trenches at least, these guys match up pretty well, especially when Tank's not in the game for the Tigers. Smaller offensive line compared to most Region 9 schools has the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. 2nd and 10. Hansen comes out, Twins to either side. Straight drop back. He's looking left, looks to throw right, and then he's going to be wrangled up, brought down by Cole Larson for a big loss. And the clock keeps ticking in the first quarter down to 12 seconds.
Cole Larson got there first. Tucker Wright got there second. Either way, Hansen didn't feel comfortable enough to let that fly. Ends up eating it and taking the sack. We've seen both defenses get into the backfield as we get the replay right here. Hansen taking the snap, thinks about letting it go, decides to just eat it, hold on to it, and Hurricane comes away with a big defensive play.
After quarter number 1 on your one last scoreboard, Tigers lead 8-7. We'll take a 1 minute break. Back with the second quarter after this on your Region 9 Radio Network.
Dude, we've been here forever. They're about to close the store. Would you just pick something already?
I just want to look good, you know. It's season 2 of Trailblazer Weekly. I just want to make sure I get the right ones.
Look at all this great stuff they have here at the Dixie State Campus Store. No matter what you choose, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm just going to go with the first one.
Appreciate Intercap.
Catch the season 2 premiere of Trailblazer Weekly on Wednesday, August 14th at 3 p.m. Presented by the Dixie State Campus Store.
First-time home buyers, jumbo loans, retirement, refinance, and many other loan options to help the unique needs of Washington County and surrounding areas. Call today for a free quote and quick mortgage approval. Intercap Lending. Third and long for Hansen and the Mustangs. He's going to throw it out to the right side on an out route, complete to Sweeten, who's going to have the first down and more. He's going to try to beat Ray Cordova to the sideline. Cordova pushes him out, or excuse me, Lambert pushes him out, but not after a big play. Sweeten is a playmaker.
He is, and I mean, if you need evidence of that, go back and look at what he did last week in that win over Canyon View, running for a couple touchdowns, throwing for a touchdown, catching a touchdown. And tonight we're seeing Curtis Sweeten and his abilities on full display against this Tiger defense. And he's just kind of come on as of late. Had that big game last week, struggled the first couple weeks, and he's really emerged as a superstar for this Mustang squad.
First down inside Hurricane territory from about the 17-yard line. Hansen calling one of his backs in closer to him. He's going to hand it to Sweeten, and the ball's on the turf. Hansen will jump and dive, gets back on it, but not after a loss. Great play there by the Tigers to get into the backfield.
Yeah, that was Eli Pert who put his shoulder down, made first contact, and even after him, a couple Tigers swarming around. Let's watch right here is Pert. I love this tackle right here. He just dives in, gets that right hand on the football, knocks it loose, and Hansen just happens to be in the right spot, or else that could have been a Hurricane 7 the other way.
Yeah, went in through that gap left by the pulling guard on that play. And Eli Pert, offense, defense, we've seen him catch passes for him in the past. One of their best defensive linemen. He's put on some muscle from last year to this year. Here's the shotgun to Hansen. He's going to throw it out well out wide, and it's caught for about a 7-yard gain. Not back to the original line of scrimmage. And a long developing throw there out to Davin Adams.
Yeah, that ball seemed to hover in the air forever, which gave cornerback Cody Paletta plenty of time to get back and make the proper tackle. He wraps up well here as the Mustangs pick up a couple yards.
Third down, 13 to go for the Mustangs. They've been effective tonight when they've had a chance in the red zone. Look out for number 2, Curtis Sweeten, who's lined up in the slot position on the left side for Crimson Cliffs. Hansen going to look out right, fake the pass, and then be brought down. Looked like maybe another miscue between receivers as a couple Tigers get into the backfield and make the play.
Eli Pert, he's there again alongside Corbin Crofts. This Tiger defense starting to kind of get comfortable in the Mustang backfield.
Absolutely, and it couldn't come at a better time. Hurricane with the 8-7 lead here on your one-loss scoreboard, as we see the sack there on the replay from our CEC TV crew. Fourth and long for the Mustangs. Offense on the field, twins to either side. He did not look Sweeten's way last play. We'll see if he looks left this time. Hansen looking right. He's going to throw it up high. Intercepted on that left side. Taken down the sideline. He's past midfield. That's Luke Wright with his second interception of the game. It's going to be a pick 6 for the Hurricane Tigers. Touchdown. What a play by Wright.
2 interceptions for Luke Wright, and he ends up taking one of them 80 yards into the end zone for the Hurricane score. And right there, Chase Hansen just happened to overthrow once again Gunnar Orr. We've seen it happen a couple times tonight. Luke Wright in the right spot, terrific coverage, takes it all the way back. And I mean, that's a great job of Wright there, cutting back to the right side of the field after going up the left for the first half of it.
And I'm seeing for the first time a couple flags down on the field right around the 40-yard line on the opposite side of the touchdown. The refs are talking to Skylar Miller. And got a figure with that big return. Yeah, it is going to be a penalty against the Tigers after the interception. They'll retain the ball. It'll take away the exciting pick six. We'll see the replay here. Hansen looks right, stares down his receiver, and as you described, throws it just a little bit too long to Gunnar Orr. There's the interception. And we're trying to find where the penalty is. And there was a big hit right where the flag was. Maybe it was unsportsmanlike conduct. Kind of a high hit against a defenseless player for the Mustangs, which unfortunately for the Tigers will bring it all the way back. And they'll have it on their own 25-yard line. You know, 5 years ago, that's a clean hit, clear space. But now you hit him high when he's not looking. You know, 2 flags came flying out right away, and it'll take away the pick six.
Vicious hit at first glance. It looked like the proper move.
First down, handoff goes up the middle to the near back. That's number 26, Connor Nielsen. I think his first carry of the game for the Tigers, and he gets a good gain on first down.
And I love what Hurricanes doing here, how they're implementing different players, trying to give different looks to Crimson Cliffs. You know, between Lambert, Stratton, and even Nielsen now in his first carry, they all have a different way in which they carry the football, and they're just throwing different looks out to Crimson Cliffs. I like how they're shaking it up right here.
Second down, 2 yards to go from their own 33-yard line. Starley, straight drop back. He's looking to pass, looking for Cordova, who didn't have his head turned when Starley was looking to throw. Starley lowers his shoulder, tries to run to the first down line, Legain, and he'll get it. First down for the Tigers.
And the first down's great for a Hurricane, but it's got to be a little bit. It's got to bother you a little bit that every time he's looked Cordova's way, Raymond's never had his head turned around. He's looked for Cordova a couple times, and they just haven't been on the same page tonight. They haven't really been on the same page all season. Cordova, as great as a receiver as he is, Starley, as great as a quarterback as he is, if you look at the stat sheet, the numbers are a little disappointing to what we're accustomed to between these two.
First and 10 from the 39-yard line now for the Tigers. Tight end to the right. He'll hand it off up the middle again to Connor Nielsen, who lowers his shoulder and grinds for a couple yards.
7:50 left in the second quarter. Once again, Hurricane 8, Crimson Cliffs 7.
Nick Hansen pulls his quarterback aside, giving him the play on the sideline. It's kind of a weird thing to see nowadays, a coach and a quarterback getting that much face time with all the signaling and the no huddle and stuff like that. 7:28 on the clock. Here comes Starley. One wide receiver to the near side. They're going to run student body right, pitched out to War, and a great defensive play by the Mustangs. They gobble him up for a limited gain. Luke Buhner, I think, was the Mustang who got his hat on the ball carrier.
Buhner and then Creed Leonard also getting there, a group effort from Crimson Cliffs. So we get to watch in our replay right here. Solid pitch. Mustangs just close that hole incredibly fast. Solid defensive effort by a team who adapts incredibly well. And they've had to adapt to multiple different situations where Hurricanes ran the football tonight.
3rd and 6 for the Tigers. Split out wide left is Andrew Mangelson, who is subbing in and out tonight for the offense. And once again on that left side, procedure. That's happened a couple of times tonight, Rustin. That left tackle getting a little antsy, moving a little early on a key 3rd down.
Yeah, Isaiah Martinez right there. That's the second penalty of the night that you can contribute to him. And he's a great left tackle, does a fantastic job for the Hurricane Tigers. But in a game like this, a close game, which neither of these teams have been in a close game. I know Crimson Cliffs beat Canyon View, but they did so by a good margin. And so tonight, when it's close, when it's tight, when every single play seems to matter, it's easy to get a little jumpy.
3rd down, 11 to go now for the Tigers. You'd love to pass right here, but it hasn't worked so far tonight. Cordova back in the game. He's wide left. Motion left to right. They're going to pitch it out wide. And the ball carrier is going to go for a couple yards. Penalty in the backfield. That was Luke Wright running the ball. But once again, flags are plaguing the Tigers.
It looks like this will be, I think if my calculations are correct, I think this will be the 9th penalty on the Hurricane Tigers.
Yeah, a lot. It's another illegal shift. It's tough when you're running that wing team. You got to get moving. You can't be moving forward before the ball is snapped. Penalty will be declined by the Mustangs and put Tigers in a punting situation on your one-loss scoreboard. They lead 8-7 with 6:09 left in the second quarter.
It's very tough knowing that this could be a completely different ball game right now, where the Hurricane could have a 2-possession lead. Luke Wright, with that interception, appeared to take it all the way back, 80 yards for the touchdown. Called back due to a penalty, and now you're going to walk away with nothing, sending the ball back to the Mustangs. Tough break for the Tigers. And we got a stoppage of play right now. Looks like we have a timeout called by Crimson Cliffs. Hurricane 8, Crimson Cliffs 7, and what has been a fantastic ball game thus
Absolutely.
far.
We'll take a 45-second break, back with the rest of the first half right here on your Region 9 radio network.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hi, I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in because for 75 years, Smokey only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back. Hurricane High School Tigers lead the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs 8-7. Big punt from Cordova. Caught by Ammon Smith, who gets a couple yards after he caught it. Shy of the 30-yard line, right around the 27 is where the Mustangs will start their drive. 5:48 left on the clock. Appreciate all of our local sponsors helping us bring you Region 9 football, including Utah Gastroenterology helping us bring you the special teams plays. Did you know that a colonoscopy is the most effective method of screening for colon cancer? Check out Utah Gastroenterology to schedule your appointment today, utahgastro.com. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. They'll come out in the very familiar offensive set, twins to either side for Chase Hansen. He's looking right. Slant throw caught by Ammon Smith, who's going to get a block downfield, and he'll get a good 16 yards on that play for a first down.
And right there, that's the first big play for Ammon Smith. But watch this seal for our TV audience that Curtis Sweeten's able to put in. He kind of pins Clayton Ward, knocks him off, and it allows Ammon Smith to really have that extra room to work as he gets up around the 47.
I agree, and Sweeten got a good piece of the defender down the field. You got to be careful a little bit with that, initiating contact. The refs must have said, hey, he was running his route.
Yep.
And he ran into the defender, and everything's cool.
A lot of contact, but it pans out for Crimson Cliffs.
1st and 10 now from the 46-yard line of the Mustangs. Hansen looking to throw again. Pass complete. Big stick made defensively, but a good catch on the outside there by Davin Adams.
Yeah, that was number 51, Tucker Wright, exploding into the backfield, bringing Hansen down. Hansen a little slow to get up. That was a hard hit, a solid hit, a clean hit by Tucker Wright. As Chase Hansen has probably been on the turf more times tonight than he'd like, but he still stands in there, delivers the strike, picks up a couple yards for the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. And it looks like Hansen's going to step on the sideline for a second, and Gunnar Orr, the guy that Hansen competed with in the beginning of the year for the quarterback spot, he's going to come and play quarterback for just a second while they take a look at Chase Hansen.
2nd and 4 for Gunnar Orr with his first snap offensively. They're going to run speed option left. He'll pitch it out to Curtis Sweeten, who gets the edge down the sideline. He'll be knocked out of bounds, but not after another fabulous Freddie's first down, and he's right around the 35-yard line.
And another risky pitch right there. This time we've seen it from Hansen, and now Gunnar Orr gets in on perfecting the art of pitching the football. Both of those have been incredibly close because 2 Tigers had exploded into the Mustang backfield and were in the vicinity when he pitched that football. Sweeten ends up with it and with a big game. Watch that right there.
And that right side collapsed hard. The Tigers were coming full bore, and Orr just could kind of granny pitch it outside. Luckily, Sweeten did a good job getting the first down. Here's Gunnar Orr on the power play, quarterback keeper up the middle. He's going to cut left, be brought down inside the 20-yard line. And a great play catching the Hurricane Tigers off guard with Gunnar Orr at quarterback.
Yeah, and Gunnar Orr would have picked up about 15 yards right there, but we got to give a lot of credit to number 90. He's not listed on the roster, but he threw a fantastic block downfield, as you can see on your TV replay. Orr picks up about 15 here, and then he's able to get about 10 more as 90 throws the block on Ian Lambert.
It's like a timeout on the field. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Timeouts, appreciate our timeout sponsor, brought to you in part by Intermountain Sports Medicine, who are helping Region 9 athletes stay healthy out on the field. And tonight you've got a couple great ones, including for the Hurricane Tigers, Jeannie Walker and Crimson Cliffs, Ashley Wallum. Appreciate Intermountain Sports Medicine helping support Region 9 athletics. And we're actually just going to keep it here because I talked through the timeout. 1st and 10 will be coming up for the Mustangs, looking to gain the lead here with 3:49 left in the first half.
Man, this has been an exciting game. I know when you look down the Region 9 schedule, this isn't necessarily the game that jumps out and grabs your attention, but both of these squads have been fantastic tonight. The defenses have been amazing. The line's getting plenty of push for Crimson Cliffs and Hurricane. We've seen a handful of spectacular plays with the interceptions, the tough grabs, the well-placed balls. It's been a fun game, and it's going to continue into the second half with the way these two squads are playing. But now Crimson Cliffs and Gunnar Orr, a chance to take advantage and take their first lead of the game down here in the red zone.
Chase Hansen was taken out after that big hit he took. Orr will drop back to throw, looks to the right side, throws it short of the intended receiver who's wanting a flag on the play. A little handsy on the right side, Mitchell Squires. Ball falls well short of his long fade route. Gunnar Orr looking to throw it to the right side. Not the prettiest spiral, but receiver wasn't even close.
Yeah, the ball wasn't really in the vicinity. I mean, Squires kind of had his guy beat a little bit, but it would have had to have been a very, very well-placed football. And for Gunnar Orr, you've played the majority of this game at the wide receiver position, as he now goes out to the wide receiver spot now. Chase Hansen back in this ball game.
2nd and 10 from the 11. Hansen's going to pull down, look to run it. He's going to push to inside the 10-yard line. Ball came out late after I think his knee was down and the whistle had blown. Short gain for Hansen.
Hey, and there's Isaiah Martinez right there getting physical as he swings Hansen down on the turf. He's the first Tiger there to bring down the ball carrier. And we've talked about him at the left tackle position and a couple false starts tonight, but starting to make his presence known on the defensive end.
3rd and 8 now for the Mustangs. 8-7, Hurricane leads. 3:03 left on the Bloomington Country Club clock. In the red zone of Team D Auto are the Mustangs. Hansen's going to look right with the pass, throws it wide, incomplete, and a flag comes down on the field in the backfield of the Mustangs.
Man, and if you're sitting in the stands here tonight in Hurricane and you're cheering for the Tigers, you've got to be pleased that Ammon Smith's impact has been severely limited by Luke Wright from the cornerback spot. We know about his two interceptions and what he's done there, but he has stuck to Ammon all night long and played really terrific defense. If it wasn't for that little pick that we saw a little earlier on, Smith wouldn't have a catch thus far, wouldn't have any yardage.
Appreciate Team D Auto Sales, our red zone sponsor. It'll be a hold against the Mustangs. I'll take them back. Check out Team B. They won't be beat. Score big savings from Jason and Parker at Team D Auto Sales, 488 East St. George Boulevard, or teamdautosales.com. Ball will go back to the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 23 for the Mustangs.
Right here, Chase Hansen back in the game. Gunnar Orr played well until Hansen came back in, and then with them in the red zone, they needed their quarterback back, and now with that penalty, they got a little room to work with.
Hansen straight drop back, looking to the left, pressured on that side. Ball was almost torn out. He keeps it, decides to run, and he'll be tracked down. Could have been disastrous, but is able to make a short gain out of it. It'll still be 4th and long for the for the Mustangs.
Yeah, big play right there for Hurricanes defense to kind of regroup, because Chase Hansen, he put some moves on right there. Spun away from a couple Tigers, juked out a couple, but Hurricanes defense able to regroup, find the ball carrier, bring him down before that first down. And now we got a big 4th for the Mustangs, who trail by 1. 8-7, 2 minutes, 18 seconds left. The clock is ticking. Mustangs trying to score here on 4th down.
4th and 19, 2:12 and ticking left on the clock. Here's Hansen looking for time. He's going to throw it out to the right side. He's got a man. Ammon Smith comes down with it in the end zone. Touchdown Mustangs. Wow.
And there was a play earlier this game where Luke Wright hauled in that interception. Smith got a hand up in there, almost knocked it loose. Right here, it's vice versa. Smith gets his hands on that ball. Luke Wright puts a hand in there, and Smith with the concentration and the ability to haul it in for the Mustang score. We talked about Wright slowing down Smith. Right there, he gets a little separation and shows us the talent he has.
They go trips left, isolate their best receiver, one-on-one coverage, throw it up to him. He comes down with a great catch by Ammon Smith to give the Mustangs now the lead with the PAT up. And good. The Mustangs on your one last scoreboard lead, 14-8. And for our TV audience checking out the replay, straight drop back, looks off the safety left, throws it up right, and Smith comes down with the big catch against a very good defensive back in Luke Wright. Let's take a 45-second break. Back with the rest of the first half on your Region 9 Radio Network.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
Kevin, I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back to the Holmes Triple Cast from Hurricane High School. Check out Holmes at holmeshomes.com. Mustangs lead 14-8. Good return on the kickoff by Ian Lambert. He'll get it out to about the, looks like they're spotting them at the 35-yard line. And with 141 left on the clock is winding. It should be stopped. I think it was right around 145. And the Tigers will have the ball, looking to close the gap here before they head into the locker room. Appreciate Holmes, our title sponsor for Region 9 football this year. They build homes you call home. Visit holmeshomes.com to see their Utah communities, locations, and floor plans. Single-family homes and townhomes are available at Desert Color right here in southern Utah. Pretty homes, unique, innovative floor plans. My wife saw it and was like, let's get out there and check it out right away. And you can check out the innovative designs at Holmes, Holmes, homes.com.
Right now, a stoppage in play as we get the clock figured out. It is set back to 1:45. You are right, AT. The Tigers, with a little under 2 minutes to work, they trail 14-8 on their home field before half. And they've been a very run-heavy team, but I have a feeling with this 2-minute drill, we might see a little bit more passing.
Here comes the pitch to Luke Wright on that left side. He'll be stopped after about a 3-yard gain. And want to shout out a ruckus. Hurricane Tiger student section doing a great job. They're blacked out tonight, shouting back and forth with the Mustangs student section on the other side of the field, all in good fun, showing some sportsmanship, I think is the word I'm looking for.
Sport. What did you say?
I think I said sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship. It's the same thing.
2nd and 7 coming up for the Tigers. 1:11 left on the clock and running it down. We'll see how aggressive they are in their play calls. Do they trust the throw game here in their 2-minute drill. And they do. Rollout pass look from Starley. He's looking to throw down the field. Instead, he'll keep it, and he'll get the first down and out of bounds right around midfield. Good job by Starley, decisive play to pull it down and get the first down.
Right there, it's kind of a tough call from Brock Starley because for a minute it looked like he had Cordova who turned left a little wide open, but instead of forcing it, he just keeps it, picks up the extra yardage on the ground, and runs out of bounds to stop the clock. It's the safe play for Hurricane and allows him to live another down.
Seems like their main pass play is a rollout, and Cordova, you just run on a go route. Unfortunately for the Tigers, they've been unable to make a connection, and most of the time haven't even been able to throw it to him. And now it's 1st and 10, probably anticipating some passes to end this drive with only 55 seconds left on the Bloomington Country Club clock. From the 47-yard line, straight drop back, Max Pro for Starley. He's going to throw it low, but I think it was caught. Good job getting his hands underneath it was Ray Cordova.
Yeah, a couple yards there. It looks like maybe about a 5-yard pickup for Hurricane, and we have a timeout. 8:14 is the score. Crimson Cliffs on top, 45 seconds remaining.
It'll be 2nd down and about 5 from the 46 of the Mustangs, and I like the aggressive mentality of the Hurricane Tigers, calling the timeout, wanting to script something up, try to get in the end zone. Intercap Lending is your timeout sponsor. Check out Intercap Lending, who specializes in no and low money down payments, down options, investor loans, first-time homebuyers, jumbo loans, retirement, refinance, and many other loan options. Check them out today at Intercap Lending.
If you're on the Hurricane side tonight, you kind of like to see that last reception. It was only 5 yards. Starley hits Raymond Cordova, but you're really hoping it gets him going. We know that when Starley and Cordova are on the same page, they're very, very tough to handle. We already seen Hansen, after a slow start, shake it off and connect with his star receiver in Ammon Smith. And if you're a Tiger fan, you're hoping that happens to Brock Starley and Raymond Cordova after that 5-yard pickup.
2nd down and 5 from the Mustangs' 47-yard line. Starley comes up under center. He's got 3 receivers, 2 backs. He's going to look for the bubble screen out to the left. Caught. Receiver will get the sideline, dive to get out of bounds. That'll stop the clock, and I think he also is close to the first down.
It looks like, yeah, they're going to give him the first down. First down, Hurricane ran out of bounds, stops the clock, 39 seconds left. Trying to make something special happen here. And so far, we saw Starley take one big, deep attempt on their second drive, the first down. They took a big attempt downfield. And so far, just a quick out pass, and then we've seen the 5-yard pickup to Cordova. You're thinking with 39, this is about the time where we see a shot downfield.
1st and 10 from the 42-yard line now. Starley looking for Cordova. He's going to throw it up high. Cordova is going to be tackled out of bounds and pushed. He caught the ball, but out of bounds. And it's going to be obvious pass interference on the Mustangs, which will give Hurricane the first down. We'll see it here on the replay.
That's the sophomore Isaac Golder for Crimson Cliffs, who appears to get underneath Cordova before he has a chance to catch that football. We talked about when Hurricane's going to take that deep shot. It was right there, and it was a great attempt, realizing you got your star receiver Cordova matching up against the sophomore Golder, taking advantage of it. Hurricane will move forward.
It was closer than I expected on whether he was in bounds or not. I thought he was clearly out. He did a good job of trying to keep his right foot in bounds between the legs of the defender who was pushing him out of bounds, but I thought definitely the right call by the referee to call pass interference, and the catch was out of bounds.
You know, and Golder might catch a little flack right there for that pass interference call, but for most of the night, he's been fantastic. Cordova is a great receiver, and he's held him in check. You just kind of hope if you're on the Crimson Cliff side, the Cordova and Starley don't start to awake right here.
And watch out for that same play just on the other side as Cordova flips to the other side of the field. Roll out right for Starley, looking deep for Cordova, throws it to the right and just out of bounds, too near the sideline for Cordova to make a play inbounds on the ball. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, right there, Crimson Cliff switches cornerbacks. Instead of going with Golder, they go over to Y. Kanohi, who has fantastic closing speed, as we see on our replay right here. And that ball not able to be caught from Raymond Cordova. 26 seconds, AT. I keep looking over that clock, seeing how much time Hurricane has left to get on the scoreboard before we go to half.
Yeah, they're in the Team D Auto red zone. Only a couple times they've been in there so far in the first half. Check out Team D at teamdautosales.com. 2nd and 10. Hurricane from the Mustangs 27-yard line. 3 backs in the backfield. Starley under center. Going to roll out right. Look back left. He's going to just have to throw it away. He's tackled in the backfield, close to being a grounding call. I think he may have got it back to the original line of scrimmage. It was close, though, Burnsy.
It was close right there, and he had about 4 Crimson Cliffs Mustangs bearing down on him, playing terrific defense. We've seen Crimson Cliffs get into the backfield a couple times tonight, and it looks like we got a flag on the play as well as the referee throws one right in front of the Hurricane huddle.
Yeah, that was close to a grounding penalty. I think they're going to get it. I think the ball bounced around the 30-yard line, and they are going to get the grounding and loss of down on the Tigers. 21 seconds left on the Bloomington Country Club clock. 14-8. Crimson Cliffs leads the Hurricane Tigers. It's going to be 3rd and long from the 40-yard line. Hurricane hasn't been afraid to heave it deep in this series, trying to get into the end zone and recapture the lead heading into the locker room. We'll see if they do it again on 3rd and long.
Went from the 28 to the 41. They've gone up the field, back down the field. They've received penalties in their favor, and they've also been on the wrong side of a couple yellow flags here tonight. I guarantee that's going to be a big topic here at halftime.
Wayne T, just one receiver out to the right. That's Ray Cordova. He's going to roll towards Cordova's side, flip it out to the fullback. That's Stratton who makes the play and gets out of bounds. Huge hit. And a penalty is going to come, I think, on the tackle.
Big hit right there from number 1. That was Kanohi, who took a shot at Stratton, and he incredibly slow to get up. The flag flies. It looks like he hit him out of bounds. So not only do you get a big pickup right here as Starley connects with Stratton, looks like you're also going to get a couple penalty yards.
And when they've thrown underneath, not just the deep stuff to Stratton, it has worked. And that time, man, that looked, he hit him high but led with the shoulder. There's going to be a flag on it and because of how high he hit him, but it wasn't helmet to helmet by any means.
And the main issue there is Stratton had already stepped out of bounds. His right foot was out of bounds when Kanohi landed that hit.
Even though that was illegal, we don't like to see dangerous plays like that, but heck of a collision. And you're right, it was probably because he was out of bounds more than where he hit him. Big Hits brought to you by Sand Hollow this year. Check him out at sandhollow.com, and also give him a call to schedule your tee time, 656-GOLF. And follow him on Instagram and Facebook.
So the Tigers from the 10, 13 seconds left. If you're the head coach, what are you calling up right here, AT?
I think you got to throw it, and I like him rolling out. Cordova is in one-on-one situation, potentially a timeout, though, called. Probably Coach Alafapo trying to figure out how to roll a safety over to double Cordova. But they've done, like you were pointing out, they've done a good job all night of one-on-one coverage against a really athletic Cordova on the edge.
Yeah, and something when Hurricane likes to send War out on the side, Cordova's out there. Luke Wright, whenever he checks into the ball game, like Hurricane has a handful of weapons who they're able to utilize in the pass game. But Crimson Cliffs has done a solid job of really checking these guys at the line, holding on to them, staying with them step by step, knocking down balls that Brock Starley's airing up. They've done a great job in one-on-one coverage. And even now, down in the red zone on the 10, we see Crimson Cliffs still confident going with that one-on-one coverage, even though the Tiger passing game has kind of started to heat up as of late.
13 seconds left on the Bloomington Country Club clock. Mustangs lead 14-8. It'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers.
You still going with Cordova, or do you think that entire timeout right there was trying to find a way? I mean, you're at the 10, and what we haven't seen in a long time is Starley tuck it and run.
That's right.
I mean, here's a perfect opportunity for Brock really to pull the football down and maybe try to get into the end zone.
1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Cordova spread out to the left. They got a tight end to the right. They're going to throw a fade up to Cordova, who's going to catch it. No problem. The back didn't get around. Easy throw and catch on the fade. Textbook play there from Starley and Cordova.
All night we've talked about Raymond Cordova and how him and Starley really haven't been on the same page. This drive they were, and it's showcased right here. Cordova gets turned around just in time as Starley places that ball where only he can catch it. Great throw, great catch, and they're alive and well here in Hurricane.
14-14 now, and Hurricane loves to go for two when they score. And we'll see the regular offense out in the huddle, looking to take a 2-point lead into the locker room. 10 seconds left on the clock. I like that call. I was thinking that the Mustangs must have called timeout to figure out a way to bump Cordova and maybe have a safety over the top, but they just left him out on an island, and it paid off for the Tigers. Here's the run play up the middle for Hurricane, and it's in it good. They keep it simple, just a fullback dive on both 2-point conversions, and they take the 2-point lead, 16-14. They lead on the one-loss scoreboard. We'll take a 45-second break back to close out half number one after this on your Region 9 Radio Network.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Here we go, the butterfly. Ready? Ooh.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Talk to your doctor about creating a plan that works better for you. Start taking the right steps at manageyourbp.org.
Now I'm, trying to get better, stronger than ever.
Welcome back to beautiful Hurricane, Utah. Sun has gone down. Mustang fans are relishing the shade, and the Tigers are relishing a 16-14 lead right now with 10 seconds left in the second quarter. Cordova, who caught the touchdown pass, is now going to put a shoe into it for the Tigers. It'll go to the left side, which is Curtis Sweeten territory, but bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
Right here, 10 seconds left for Crimson Cliffs. You're going to start from the 20-yard line. I just expect to see a handoff and call it good.
It's been an exciting game. A lot of people predicted this would be a close game, and that's been the case. Hurricane making big plays, throwing the ball on that last series. Heck of a job by Brock Starley hooking up with Stratton and then Cordova for the touchdown. And it looks like the Mustangs come out in a safety formation to just wind out the clock and head into the locker room down 16-14, and that's what they'll do. We'll take another 2-minute break on your one-loss scoreboard. Hurricane Tigers lead here at home 16-14 against the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. 2-minute break. We'll be back with the Info West halftime show right after this on your Region 9 Radio Network.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West, set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back to your Holmes game of the night at Hurricane High School, where the Tigers have the 16-14 lead at halftime. Halftime show brought to you by InfoWest, the internet people. Check out high-speed internet, web design, tech support, and more, and clean internet as well as speed burst for your family at InfoWest.com. Burnsy, your thoughts on half number one and a close one here at Hurricane High School?
Man, my thoughts exactly are that half number one has been fantastic to watch. We've seen some incredible football, some great plays. But on top of that, I think the best football of this game is yet to come, AT. We finally saw Crimson Cliffs quarterback Chase Hansen get familiar once again with his star receiver in Ammon Smith. And we finally saw Hurricanes pass game come alive as Starley starts to connect with Raymond Cordova, especially down there with a touchdown throw on the 10 seconds left to give Hurricane the eventual lead. I think the best football is yet to come as these teams really have started to open up offensively.
Yeah, a couple mistakes by both quarterbacks. You know, Hansen was out for Gunnar Orr for a few plays after he got hit hard. He comes back in, throws that interception. Almost a pick six for Luke Wright,
yeah,
but it comes all the way back. But Hurricane is able to drive the ball down the field and get a big score from Ray Cordova from Brock Starley, who it was a struggle for them several times to kind of get in sync, get connected, but I'm sure great for Coach Hansen to see him finally get in sync in the red zone on that fade.
And this will allow, once again, because you mentioned how Cordova and Starley, how Raymond wasn't necessarily having his head turn when Starley was delivering the football and how they adjusted and ended up fixing that towards the second quarter. This will allow Brock Starley to be the quarterback that he's most comfortable being here in the third quarter, and that's rolling out to the right, rolling out to the left, being on the move and being able to find Cordova in stride. Now that they're on the same page, I think this Tigers offense is really going to unlock itself.
And we've seen, you know, some of the star players that we've expected making big plays. I thought the defensive line of Hurricane did a great job. Pert was getting in the backfield for them in that first half, bothering Hansen a little bit. But the star power, I mean, at least me, I've heard about these guys, haven't seen them in person, but guys like Curtis Sweeten are playmakers, and obviously Cordova in the red zone for the Tigers. It's paying off, and the home faithful is packed in tight here for the Tigers, looking to get their first win of the season, as well as the visitor side. The Mustangs travel really well, packing it in. The visitor side, they trail 16-14. You're listening to the InfoWest halftime show. Check out InfoWest at InfoWest.com. They got speed burst and clean internet for your family at InfoWest.com. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll come back with some Region 9 updates as well as some highlights from the first half, courtesy of our CEC TV crew. 2-minute break, back with more InfoWest halftime show right after this.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West, set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz?
Welcome back to the Info West halftime show
on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
First win of the year against Crimson Cliffs. Check out InfoWest.com, clean internet and speed burst. Our friends at InfoWest helping us bring you Region 9 sports all throughout the school year. Time now for some Hearst Ace hardware updates around Region 9. I think the last score I saw for Dixie Cedar was 24-16, closer than a lot imagine up there on the road for the Reds. You got scores on some of the other games, Burns?
I do. Going back to that Dixie Cedar City game real quick, 24-16. So far it looks like our guy who we picked one of the hardest receivers to guard in the region, Trey Simmons, he's already hauled in an 11-yard touchdown. It looks like Reggie Graff had an 81-yard run touchdown. Tanner Esplin for the Reds caught a pass from Jaron Garrett, and Derek Kesterson had a 17-yard run for Dixie. Esplin also ended up with another touchdown as well, keeping it close out there in Cedar City, 24-16. And then the last I heard, AT, of Pineview and Canyon View, it was 21-0 in favor of the Panthers, but that was with about 9 minutes left in the second quarter. I wouldn't be surprised at all if that score's changed up a little bit, with Pineview leading Canyon View 21-0. We have Jacob Nobly, 30-yard touchdown run for him. Isaiah Moten caught a 20-yard pass from Croton. In fact, Isaiah Moten is responsible for both receiving touchdowns in favor of the Pineview Panthers. And then, of course, we have this game right here in Hurricane as the Tigers lead on their home field 16-14 in what has been a fantastic game. And the last score, one of the bigger games of the night, AT. Last I heard, Desert Hills is up 14-7 in a close one. Around 2 minutes left in the second quarter, 14-7 out in Snow Canyon. Landon Fries tossed a touchdown already, and then it looks like Kina Tuufa has a 1-yard touchdown run. Caleb Rogers, 82-yard pass from Jace Mortensen for a touchdown. A little trickeration, Snow Canyon pulling out some of the stops. 14-7, last we heard.
And for our TV crew, a great shot of the drill team of the Hurricane Tigers out there, who are one of the most talented in the region year in and year out. They got length on the edges. They got really good foundation in the middle, rarely make mistakes in their own, but they struggle to get in the red zone. Most of the time they just play in between the 40s, which is one of their challenges they're trying to work through this year as we see them getting down with a band behind them. Quite a scene, and I can't say it enough. The Tigers Den, or whatever they call their student section, has done a great job tonight. They're blacked out. They're excited. They want to win, and right now they're up 2 points against Crimson Cliffs at halftime. If we have the highlights, let's do that now with our CEC TV audience. We'll describe them with some great color here for our radio audience. Chase Hansen ran the speed option several times. Most of the time he pitched it. This time he kept it, took a big hit from Ian Lambert, but got a big gain. And then the Hurricane Tigers, Stratton, who subs in for Ian Lambert, makes one of the best runs of the game on a key third down there for a first down.
Big play as Hurricane tried to get their run game rolling. And right here we see Starley fake, drops, rolls to his right, and he delivers a perfectly placed ball to Clayton Ward, who receives a massive block from Luke Wright, and he's able to get into the end zone from there. That was the first score of our ball game as Hurricane would go up 8-0.
Here's Hansen on a straight drop back, throws it up to his favorite target, whether it's a running back or the slot position. That's Curtis Sweeten who reels it in and gets the score on the deep throw for the Mustangs, who have shown an ability to throw the ball down the field a little bit in their first 3 games as a school this year, and looking to get their second win of the season here tonight. Hansen with the straight drop back again. This time, too much time taken in the pocket. He's wrangled by a gang of Hurricane Tigers for the sack, and Hurricane really started to put the pressure on in that second quarter.
They did, and the same could be said for Crimson Cliffs. Both teams getting to the quarterback as Hansen would later throw this interception into the hands of Luke Wright, who would take it back 80 yards for what we thought to be a Hurricane score. It would eventually be called back, and the Tigers weren't able to capitalize on this drive, but still a fantastic catch, run back, cut back from Luke Wright, and what was almost a Hurricane touchdown.
It was a blindside hit that got it called back, and then we see the fade pass. Beautifully executed. They struggled in that first half, Starley and Cordova, to connect. Not that time in the end zone. Beautiful play call by Coach Hansen to get his best guy isolated in one-on-one coverage and just throw it up to him. Easy catch. Homecoming night here at Hurricane High School. They're driving around the royalty in a black Ford Mustang. And great festivities, great collection of balloons, and excitement here at Hurricane. They're trying to get a win. Always nicer to go to that dance after a victory, and that's what they're going to try to do for their school here tonight.
Do you fly all the way back to Illinois for your homecoming AT?
You know what? I don't, but this year I'm going up to Utah State's homecoming.
Oh,
and a lot of times
there
people
we go.
they forget about the colleges have homecomings, and you can actually go to a dance. And I think I'm going to go to the dance.
Oh, dance.
And go check them out. They're playing Colorado State for their homecoming, a very winnable game for the Aggies. Tigers lead 16-14. We're going to take another 3-minute break. 3-minute break. We'll be back with the rest of the InfoWest halftime show. Check them out at infowest.com. And we'll get ready for second half action on your Holmes game of the night. Don't forget, if you're listening on radio, you can tune in on sportsradio977.com and watch the game live in living color, courtesy of our CEC TV crew. Also, if you have cable, you can watch it on CEC TV cable, channel 22. Quick break, 3-minute break. We'll be back with the rest of this one here from Hurricane High School on your Region 9 radio network.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West, set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Dude,
We've been here forever. They're about to close the store. Would you just pick something already?
I just want to look good, you know. It's season 2 of Trailblazer Weekly. I just want to make sure I get the right ones.
Look at all this great stuff they have here at the Dixie State campus store. No matter what you choose, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm just going to go with the first one.
Catch the season 2 premiere of Trailblazer Weekly on Wednesday, August 14th at 3 p.m. Presented by the Dixie State campus store.
Welcome back. Info West halftime show from Hurricane High School, where the Tigers lead the Crimson Cliff Mustangs 16-14. It's homecoming night here at Hurricane High School, and they're doing a great job. They got the kids out on the field. They're forming a tunnel for their guys, trying to get that first win in a season and basically a half. They didn't win a game last year. You'd like to win your homecoming game here tonight against a school in their first year as a program. They got quite the tunnel figured out here. Hurricane playing pretty solid football on both sides of the ball. Had that big run to set up the touchdown pass to Cordova to give them this 16-14 lead. And they go for 2. They're saying, we don't want to do this kicking stuff. It hasn't worked for us. We don't want to deal with it. Or just hand it to our fullback and he'll walk into the end zone. And that's something Crimson Cliffs is going to have to figure out because it's a close game. It's likely to be a close game down the stretch. You got to stop these guys from getting 2 points every time they score a touchdown.
You really do, and you mentioned it. You hit the nail right on the head. It's just that simple fullback dive that's really getting Crimson Cliffs on the inside. And we've seen the Mustangs' interior defensive line and what they're capable of. We've seen them get into the Tiger backfield multiple times tonight. But when it comes down to it, they just got to hunker down, stand their ground, and really end up pushing the ball carrier back. I mean, just because Hurricane has so much momentum heading in right there, giving the ball to the fullback. The second time on the 2-point conversion, they nearly ended up with the stop. It was close, but that's 2 2-point conversions for the Tigers tonight that have worked in the favor of Hurricane.
Appreciate Hearst Ace Hardware, who's bringing you your Region 9 updates. Last we saw, Dixie Flyers were up 24-16 against Cedar, in a game closer than a lot of people imagined. Desert Hills was up 14-7 on Snow Canyon, at Snow Canyon, and Pineview had a comfortable lead over Canyonview. Last score I saw, I think Ruston was 28-0. Check out Hearst Ace Hardware, a hardware store, and so much more with a variety of products with prices that please on the corner of the Boulevard and Bluff Street in St. George and on Main Street in Cedar City. Here come the Mustangs. They're coming out, running in front of their home faithful. And once again, we've probably done 7-8 games here at Hurricane High School, and this is one of the best away team showings fan-wise that I've seen on that far side. Good student section. They're all dressed in white. They're excited. They're at a new high school. They don't have their field ready, so they're trying to figure out where the heck they're going to play for the rest of the year. If it's Dixie State, if it's other high schools, that's kind of a bummer because they put in a lot of work. They have a great new AD over there, Mike Winslow, who has been through this frustrating process with the company who's put the field down. There's a lot of problems with the field and its installation, so that's going to just take a while for them to sort out, likely be the whole season before these guys get to play on their home field. But they got to win last week, and for most schools that start a game first year as a team, you don't win your first year a lot of the times. They already got their win. And a great shot there of the Burning H up on the hill. I was droning on and missed a great shot. Oh, there it is. CEC TV on the ball. That's beautiful, Burnsy. And you were telling me you used to do something similar at Manila High School where you went.
Good old MHS. We had to climb the hill and actually go light a fire on a couple bricks that spelled out an M, and someone had to stand by and make sure it didn't burn all across the hilltop. That's how we do it in 1A. As the Hurricane Tigers run back onto the field, it is electric. The atmosphere has been great all night. You'd think that a place like Hurricane, where last year coming off a winless year, haven't got a win yet, you'd think it would be somewhat of a kind of a downer environment, and it has been nothing but the best. We have a true high school football feeling here tonight. Beautiful Friday night in Hurricane, Utah, and it's been a fantastic game. The product has been great. The atmosphere has been great. Everything about tonight has truly been great.
And, you talk about the no give up and the horrible season last year, and it starts with a great AD in Marcus Matua, who's been here a couple years. I think people believe in Skylar Miller. The players have bought in, and nobody quit last year. Besides the kids that graduated couldn't play anymore, everybody else came back this season. even after just getting blitzed every game last season pretty much. And that speaks a lot to the program and the coach. There were no quitters. They're coming back, and they have a lead right now at halftime, 2-point lead, 16-14, looking to get their first win in a long, long time in front of a great crowd here on homecoming night.
And then on the other side of the ball, Crimson Cliffs, yeah, they got their first win in program history, but knowing Coach Lafapo and the rest of the Mustang crew, that's not enough. One win on the season, getting your first program win, you know they're going to come out and compete every single night. Now that you got one, you want two. Then you want three, and the trend never stops. Crimson Cliffs looking for a big half as well. We know for both sides, particularly the Hurricane Tigers, probably a lot of talk in the locker room about false starts, penalties, being smart, and really paying attention to the snap count, because we've seen a lot of flags fly in the direction of Hurricane that could honestly affect the outcome of this ball game once we hit the fourth quarter.
You've been listening to the InfoWest Halftime Show. The internet people at InfoWest can get you high-speed internet, web design, tech support, and more. Check them out at infowest.com and look into their clean internet for your family. Blocks out some of the atrocities online, as well as Speed Burst. Infowest.com. Also appreciate Wilkinson's, one of our halftime sponsors. Go check them out. They're the experts in lights, fans, and fixtures, plus unique items like board games and much more at Wilkinson's across from Fiesta Fun in St. George. Mustangs lined up, ready to receive the kickoff from halftime. That H is burning, man. That's a cool sight.
It is really
cool. Homecoming. And, one of the prettier places to call a game out here in Hurricane, Utah. Love calling baseball games here. And the facilities are excellent. I mean, the baseball field, what they've done to the football field, added on to the school itself in the last, handful of years. They've made a lot of great improvements here to the facilities, and Hurricane traditionally has been a great football program. Was a powerhouse less than 10 years ago, and they're trying to get back to that. Skylar Miller has infused this program with a lot of energy and excitement, brought back some of the old things we talk about, bringing back that big white H on the helmet, which is kind of a throwback to the days they were winning state championships. Brought in Nick Hansen, the new offensive coordinator, who's changed some stuff up. We've definitely seen more passing this year already than a lot of games last year. Trying to simplify the offense for the players, and it's paying off tonight as they lead 16-14. Right, Cordova, the kicker, they kind of do everything, man, for the Tigers this year. We'll put his cleat into the ball here shortly.
Bringing back that winning tradition, aside from the helmet decals and the look of the field, is winning football games. And tonight, that's what Hurricanes put themselves in position to do.
Ground ball rolls to Curtis Sweet, who picks it up at about the 10-yard line, skirts out to the left side, picks up a good block on the edge, and he'll get it out past the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, and I think strategically, one of the things they've got to worry about is getting the ball into this kid's hands. Sweeten, who we're seeing on the replay right now, whether you're throwing it to him, handing him the ball. He got plenty of touches in the first half, but I think the more the better for the Mustangs and this kid.
Yeah, Crimson Cliffs sort of has a Pineview effect when it comes to their offensive weapons. Ammon Smith, who's been kind of shut down a good chunk of the night, he has 2 receptions with the touchdown with an impressive grab. But if Smith isn't rolling, you can go to Sweeten.
Sweeten gets the carry up the middle. They come out in kind of that power pistol formation with a power back and then the running back right behind the quarterback to create a lead blocker here for Sweeten straight up the middle.
We haven't seen Sweeten get a lot of carries from the backfield tonight, maybe 3 or 4. He's kind of done his most dangerous work really on the outsides, and You've got to wonder if Crimson Cliffs is going to try to go for more of a running approach here as Hansen has the pitch.
2nd down option play. They like that speed option out of the shotgun. He pitches it out to Sweeten, who stops short of the line to gain, about 2 yards short.
Couple runs already for Sweeten.
Good discipline there on the outside by Clayton Moore, who is responsible for the pitch man. Turns him inside and allows some of his friends to bring him down short of the sticks. 3rd and short, key down here for the Mustangs.
Mustangs passed a lot in that first half, more often than I was expecting them to. And now it seems pretty run heavy as we got a first down for Crimson Cliffs.
Sweeten will cross the 40-yard line and give the Mustangs a Fabulous Freddy's first down. Simple play, kind of going off the playbook of the Tigers. 3rd and short, just hand it right up the middle, get the first down, keep it simple, and that's what they do. They're now on their own 42-yard line and marching. Amon Smith split out wide to the near side. Davin Adams split out to the wide side with Gunnar Orr in the slot. Handoff goes to the middle. It's Sweeten. He's kind of a speed scat back, but they're treating him like, hey, lower your shoulder and go between the tackles and grind for some yards here, and that's what he's doing.
That's what we saw just right there. He kind of started on the left-hand side, made the proper cut, went to the other side of his center right there, picks up a really solid gain.
And Crimson Cliff sticking with the run. Once again, same play just to the other side as Curtis Sweeten stopped by Ian Lambert among a couple other Tigers.
And you know, right here, this is kind of giving me flashbacks to the beginning of the game when Hurricane came out and handoff after handoff after handoff, really kind of testing that Crimson Cliffs D and how they'd be able to stop and adjust to the run game. And right now, Crimson Cliffs doing the same because they passed a lot in that first half. And maybe right here, the secret weapon for them is getting that ground game established.
Clayton War had a big Sand Hollow hit on that last play. Pass goes to Davin Adams, who makes a catch high. Sticks it with his sticky gloves for a Fabulous Freddy's first down.
Another solid play right there. That pass was not perfect, but Adams still with the concentration, the ability, and the talent to bring it in for a Crimson Cliffs first down. And I like this mix we've seen here. We've seen about 5 run plays and 1 pass right there just to make it fresh. Throw that out to the Hurricane defense and see how they respond.
1st and 10 inside Hurricane territory. Here's Curtis Sweeten. Rocking and rolling close to the sticks. Great run. Spinning around, getting past Tigers for a big gain.
He's fun to watch right here. You think there's a moment where he's going to go down, where he's surrounded by bodies, still somehow puts his shoulders down and ends up with a couple more yards. And it looks like they will give him the first.
8:30 left, 8:31 left on the Bloomington Country Club clock. Play blown dead. And it looks like a penalty is going to be called on the Mustangs. Illegal procedure. And it'll put them back to 1st and 15 for the Mustangs. One thing I like about sitting right behind the student section is you get the waft of the cologne.
Yep, I was going to say it smells like
it's a bunch
Axe.
of 13, 14-year-olds just spraying themselves silly heading into homecoming night. Got to respect that. 1st and 15 for the Mustangs.
Oh, it's strong. It smells great, though.
Here's Hansen. He's going to launch it deep. He's looking for Sweet and throws it behind him. Incomplete. And there's a flag on the play.
There is a flag down right where Hansen got hit. He took a shot. Looks like we have a flag on the sideline where the ball ended up and then a flag in the backfield. Hansen kind of grasping at that hand. As he let that ball fly, it looks like he jammed it right against the helmet of an incoming Hurricane Tiger.
And the second, at least the second big hit that's been put on Hansen after he's thrown the ball. And there was also a flag down by where the receiver was. We'll see the penalties here. Pass interference on Hurricane and holding on the offense. Those will offset.
Oh.
So it'll be 2nd and 15. We'll see here on the replay for our TV audience. Hansen kind of hesitates, gets hit up high. You're right, may have gotten to his hand again. And then the late call on Clayton War, who I don't know about that call because it's underthrown and the receiver's trying to get back to the ball and War's just kind of there. It's a tough call.
War wasn't even aware of where the ball was at.
Right.
He was completely focused on the wide receiver trying to do his job. Receiver turned back, tried to go back to a ball that was well underthrown. War just kind of happened to be in the way, wrong spot, wrong time, and it ends up moving Crimson Cliffs forward a little bit. Well, not at all actually because both penalties offset.
Timeout called on after that play. Timeout is brought to you by Intercap Lending. Check out Intercap Lending for your low money down options, investor loans, first-time home buyers, jumbo loans, retirement, refinance, and many other loan options. Intercap lending in Washington County. It'll be first and long for the Mustangs, who were marched on this drive. A lot of runs, Russ, and they came out, saddled with the ponies, and are going right at the Tigers in their first possession of the second half.
They really are, especially with that run game. Like I said, it's kind of reminiscent of Hurricanes' first drive. A lot of run, pound it down your throat type of football. And now with it being 1st and 15, I still expect to see a good chunk of running the football. We saw Hurricane get backed all the way up to their own 10-yard line and still find a lot of success on the ground game when it seemed like there was no reason to run the football, when Stratton had about that 30-yard run on the left side of the field. I expect to see a little bit of the same from Crimson Cliffs right here.
Here comes the speed option left, pitch out to Sweeten. He's hit hard on that left side and dragged out of bounds for a 3 or 4 yard gain on 1st and 15. Good pitch there by Hansen, but a good closing speed. I think that's Ian Lambert, the fullback slash linebacker for the Tigers, coming up and making the big hit. Fullback slash safety, I should say.
Mustangs very content to eat a lot of this clock away. We're down to 7 minutes, 30 seconds here in the third.
And the pass go, drop back pass thrown to the right side. Once again, intercepted by Luke Wright. He threw it up as a jump ball. And that's the 3rd interception of the night for Wright. And they keep throwing it at him. And Ammon Smith unable to dogfight him for it.
And they have to. Right here we see this ball thrown by Hansen, a little wobbly, a little underthrown. And Wright's coverage, he has been step by step alongside Ammon Smith all night long. He has played terrific. Smith had that touchdown down in the end zone. It was a tough catch to make. But other than that, Luke Wright's coverage has been phenomenal. You have to be incredibly pleased with really how he's matched one of the better receivers we've seen in Region 9 this year.
Absolutely.
3 picks. One of them was nearly a touchdown.
The interception will put the Tigers at their own 7-yard line. Handoff goes to Ian Lambert up the middle for a short gain for the Tigers.
This will be the first time Hurricanes offense will see the field here in the second half. Eager to see maybe what adjustments they've made, if any at all. The offense was really starting to click towards the bottom of that second half. I expect to see a little more Starley dropbacks looking in the way of Raymond Cordova.
Appreciate Intermountain Acceleration bringing you the play-by-play tonight. They've helped countless athletes in Region 9 improve their speed and agility. Check out Brendan Ames and Intermountain Acceleration today. Here comes the handoff once again up the middle to Ian Lambert for another short gain, but it'll make it 3rd and about 3 for the Tigers. Good blocking up front, getting to that second level. That's something Coach Hansen and Coach Miller talked about in the preseason. They're not going to overcomplicate it. They're not going to make these guys pull a lot on the offensive line. They're just going to down block, man blocking scheme. Just block the guy in front of you, and if you can, pass it off and get to the second level. But I think it's paying off in the simplicity. There's been a couple miscues on procedure penalties tonight, but a big 3rd down and 3 coming up for the Tigers. Pitch goes out to the left, whistle's blown, and it's going to be another devastating procedure penalty on the Tigers to put them back 5 yards.
Ooh, that's not what you want to see either. I guarantee at halftime they were discussing toning down some of these penalties. Hurricanes well above 10 on the night. And right there, we've seen this a couple times with Clayton Ward, with Luke Wright, really whoever they send in motion. You know, just these illegal formations haven't really been paying off for Hurricane. They've had a couple yellow flags thrown their way when they've tried to send Wright or War, tried to allow them to get a little bit of a head start as they pitch it back to them.
5:55 on the Bloomington Country Club clock. Bloomington Country Club is your home for Monday Night Football. The Devin Dixon Show will be broadcasting live all throughout the NFL season. There's $9.77 specials, weekly jersey giveaways, and much more at Bloomington Country Club. On Monday night, Starley looking to throw on 3rd down. He completes it to Luke Wright, who's going to get the 1st down and more. Great yards after the catch, down to close to midfield, and another fabulous Freddy's 1st down for the Tigers.
And it's easy sometimes to put number 88, Luke Wright, in the position of he's a terrific cornerback, and that's what he is. But he is a fantastic offensive player as well. Brock Starley holds this ball up until the last minute, delivers a strike to Wright, who's able to press forward, pick up a handful of yards, even while being surrounded by Mustangs. Luke Wright's been everywhere tonight. He's done it all, and we talked about it pregame even. Luke Wright's willing to do whatever the team needs, and he's stepped up in the biggest of ways for Hurricane thus far.
And Starley threw it into a small little pocket around
great throw.
2 or 3 Mustangs there. Great job squeezing it into Luke Wright, who's got great hands. 1st and 10, inverted wishbone from Hurricane. Little fake pitch by Starley. He's going to throw it running away. Dangerous throw. He throws it out to Stratton. Incomplete.
That was a tough pass for any quarterback to make. We know that Brock Starley is a fantastic scrambling QB. He's at his best when he's able to get outside the pocket and really find his receiver streaking down the left or right side. But right there, any quarterback would have had a hard time completing that pass as he rolled to the left, tried to throw across his body to his receiver.
2nd and 10 for the Tigers. 5:04 left on the clock. They lead 16-14 here in the second quarter. Handoff goes to Stratton up the middle, who will gain a couple yards. Whacked pretty good, some extracurriculars. The Hurricane Tigers. A little late push there from a lineman. I think that's Isaiah Martinez on the edge after the run. Keeps driving back one of the Mustangs. I think that's Porter Vaught. And then a late push after the whistle is going to be an obvious flag. And that's going to push the Tigers back 15 yards.
So instead of 3rd and 8, looks like we're going to be approaching 3rd and 23 for Hurricane.
And for all the positives, Hurricane has had some positives. They've made some big plays throwing the ball. They ran it okay, but a lot of false starts, illegal shifts and stuff like that. And then that one's the most devastating, a 15-yarder for a personal foul.
Right there, just when you think the Tigers are gaining some momentum, when they're starting to click, we see one of those yellow flags on the ground. And just to give you a quick Region 9 update, as we have 4 minutes, 45 seconds of clock ticking remaining in this game. At halftime, Pineview leads Canyon View 35-7. Desert Hills leads Snow Canyon 14-7. And Dixie 38, Cedar City 22 in the third quarter.
3rd and 23 here in the third. For Hurricane, pitch goes out to War. And great defensive play by the Mustangs, brought down by number 32 out there. He's had a heck of a game. We don't have him on our program, but he's one of their best players defensively.
He's been in the backfield consistently all night, even though he may not be the one bringing down the ball carrier at all times. He's been a consistent force, disrupting the quarterback, getting to the ball carrier. He's terrific, especially getting off that edge right there. He has a certain explosion that's been tough for Hurricane to really throw a block on all night.
Comes Cordova with the punt. He's going to kick it over the head of Ammon Smith. It's going to bounce at the 10, at the 5. It's dying down, and they're going to cover it up inside the 5, right around the 2-yard line. What a kick by Cordova, who chest bumps Skylar Miller on the sideline.
Cordova with the kick, and then James Lemon getting down there, hustling down, and falling on top of that football. And we talk about how every time Hurricane gets a little bit of momentum, it's stopped by a flag. Well, right there, momentum through special teams, right? Pinning Crimson Cliffs deep in their own territory. Mustangs are going to have to be careful back here, especially with the way the Tigers' defense has been able to consistently get into Crimson Cliffs' backfield.
Last series, they were content to hand it off to Sweeten up the middle a lot. It looks like Gunnar Orr is going to come in at quarterback with Hansen out at wide receiver. Sweeten is not in the backfield as a running back. Orr is going to just keep it as a runner and go for about 13, 14 yards. He got out of there quick from the quarterback position. And just a power run. Good job by Orr.
Gunnar Orr, he's a very quick kid. You can see him right here for our TV audience. He just tucks that ball down and he scoots. There's no other way to put it. And that's when they have Orr at the quarterback position, 9 out of 10 times, he's probably going to end up running the football. But every once in a while, he'll surprise you with his arm.
Sideline warning call against Crimson Cliffs. And a great block on that last play by Cameron Smithson, the center, coming back, avoiding the block in the back to clear out some room for his quarterback. Hansen back in at QB for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. He's going to drop back, look over the middle, throws it hard and incomplete, intended for Sweeten, almost picked off by Ian Lambert, but that ball had some mustard on it. He was unable to corral it.
Yeah, right here, Hansen delivers this ball right through Sweeten's hands, hits Lambert right on the number 8 of his jersey, bounces, ricochets. He almost has a second chance to grab onto it as it falls to the turf, setting up 2nd down and 10 for Crimson Cliffs.
Twins to either side or back in. Mishandled snap. He's going to be tackled in the backfield by the Tigers.
And that right there, that was a quick bobble. It was a quick bobble. He was able to gain control, but Hurricanes defense, number 35, Eli Pert, was already in the backfield so quick, it wouldn't even have mattered. Even though Orr was able to corral it relatively quickly, it's still a pretty big loss for Crimson Cliffs. Sets up about 3rd and 14.
And Eli Pert,
he's been everywhere tonight.
He's been everywhere. He's slender, but he's playing the defensive interior line, and he's shooting those A-gaps. 3rd and long now for Hansen. Screen set up. They're going to get it to Sweeten, and it is set up beautifully. There is a flag on the play. Sweeten is going to bust away past midfield. He's trying to run past everybody. He'll be dragged down by Ian Lambert, but I think the flag came at the position of an illegal block potentially. We'll see what happens as there's a Hurricane Tiger down right around the big red H. And the injury crew comes out to take a look at him.
Looks like that was Tucker Wright, who's down on the field for the Tigers. And hopefully he's okay. But right there for Crimson Cliffs, as we kind of get this penalty sorted out, recognizing that Hurricane was bringing the blitz, terrific play call to set up this screen to Sweeten. Look at how many Tigers are in the backfield here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sets up the screen perfectly to Sweeten, who has all the room to run as Luke Wright chases him down.
And if the flag came on where I think it may have, it was well away from the play. One of the Mustang blockers grabbed the jersey of a Tiger, but he was 20 yards away from the play. And if that's the case, very unfortunate, because a beautiful play call.
It was.
A jailbreak blitz. You set up the screen beautifully. And unfortunately, it might be coming back here for the Mustangs as Tiger's still down on the field. Let's take a timeout. Let's take a minute timeout. We'll be back with an update on the injured player as well as the penalty on your Region 9 radio network.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars.
Wow.
But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel, someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Welcome back, Hurricane High School. Tigers lead 16-14 here with 2:35 left in the third quarter. There's an injured Tiger being treated down on the field. And we're still trying to sort out as well what the penalty was and where the ball's going to be after a screen pass was completed to Curtis Sweeten on a 3rd down, and he ran it all the way to the other side of the field for a 1st down, but the refs threw a flag, and they're going to be bringing the ball back. And it's Tucker Wright who's walking off the field. They've got his arm in a brace, kind of a cast that they've wrapped around it. And he has an emotional look on his face. Unfortunate for the junior, who's been having a great game so far for the Tigers. Right now the ball is at the 38-yard line of the Mustangs. And so the penalty must have come after they had already gotten the first down. And it's a spot foul, so they will get the first down, just not all the way on the other side of the field.
Still a terrific play call on the other end for Crimson Cliffs. Once again, just recognizing Hurricane would be bringing it all.
Here's Hansen, straight drop back, pressured on his right side. He's going to throw it high to Sweet, incomplete. Good defense there by War.
And alongside Clayton Moore, guess who else was in the vicinity? Luke Wright, kind of doubling down on Sweeten, which is interesting to see because as terrific as Ammon Smith is as a receiver, he's been kind of shut down tonight. And so now they're kind of starting to shift that focus until Ammon Smith starts to beat you. They're starting to focus on Curtis Sweeten and the impact he's had on this football game.
2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line of the Mustangs. Trips to the far side. Here's Hansen looking to set up the screen. Caught, but immediately tackled. Great job by, I think that's Lemon.
Yeah, it is.
Who, as soon as Sweeten caught it, brought him down to the turf.
Right there, Crimson Cliff says, hey, it worked a couple plays ago. Let's run with the screen again. And just Lemon with the terrific read. Absolutely nowhere for Sweeten to go. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 12 for Crimson Cliffs. As we've gone scoreless so far here in the third quarter. 16-14 in favor of the Hurricane Tigers. About a minute 55 to go with the clock ticking.
A big hit by Lemon, brought to you by Sand Hollow Golf Course. Give them a call, 656-GOLF, to schedule your tee time today. Ball intended for Ammon Smith. Miscue, incomplete pass. And I thought had the safety been more aware where the ball was, he may have been able to make a play on it.
It looks like it even almost hit Lambert in the hands right here. No, barely off to the side of him.
Did not see the ball, was just going after the receiver. Nonetheless, 4th down coming up for the Mustangs.
Both of these defenses really tightening up right here tonight. When in the first half, we saw them getting into the backfield often, disrupting the quarterback, getting to the ball carrier. But it's kind of gone to another level here in this third quarter. And whatever quarterback can kind of start to connect with his receiver first, whether that's Hansen with Sweeten or Starley with Cordova, I feel like whoever gets that figured out first is going to be the team that eventually walks away the winner, because these running games have been consistent. But for either side, they haven't been enough to win this ball game.
Punter standing on his own 21-yard line. His kick will bounce at about the Hurricane 35. And good coverage by the Mustangs. They get down there and down it at about the 24-yard line of the Hurricane Tigers. That's where they'll take over with 1:34 left on your Bloomington Country Club clock. 16-14. Hurricane Tigers lead here on their homecoming night. And quite an atmosphere here for the Tiger faithful, as they can smell a victory here in the third quarter. As Brock Starley has had a solid game for the Tigers, both running that option and throwing the ball, looking to extend their lead here late in the third.
Second drive for the Hurricane Tigers in the third quarter, trying to finish out this third strong. They got a minute 34 to work with. And in that second half, we saw the passing game come alive. Wonder what we're going to see here.
Pitch goes outside to Luke Wright, who does it all for the Tigers. They got several guys like that who would line up in the backfield, line up at receiver, line up on defense. He's one of them from that wing position. He takes a student body pitch left, breaks a tackle, gets hit hard by a Mustang. I think that was Luke Jr., who's did a good job defensively for Coach Tate and the Mustangs. 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Tigers in their all-black uniforms. Ray Cordova split out wide left. Comes the pitch once again. Same play, back-to-back. Luke Wright gets more this time for the Tigers.
I've been impressed all night watching how Crimson Cliff's defense continues to adapt and adjust. Right here, it's the same exact play. You think that might even catch Crimson Cliffs off guard, but as he pitches here to Luke Wright, they read, they adapt well, and they're able to shove him out of bounds, bringing up third down. What is it, 3rd and about 4? 3rd and 4 for Hurricane.
Nice play by Harold Hansen on that last one of the captains of the Mustangs this year, and it looks like the Tigers might just let the clock run out here in the 3rd quarter and go in to the last period up 2 points with the ball. 3rd down and 4 it will be on the other side of the field. On your one last scoreboard, Hurricane leads 16-14. Take a 1-minute break. Back with the 4th quarter after this on ESPN Radio.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel, someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Third and 4 for the Tigers. They have a 2-point lead, 16-14 here to start the 4th quarter on their homecoming night. They're on their own 30-yard line. 2 receivers split out to the right side. Motion man goes to the left. They'll hand it up to Ian Lambert. Second effort, he runs over a Mustang, and he's going to easily get the Fabulous Freddy's first down.
And I love what we saw right there for Hurricane. You remember the last 2 plays, they'd send Luke Wright in motion and end up pitching him the ball. Right there, they send him in motion once again, but instead of giving it to Luke Wright, they give the ball to Lambert, who's able to catch Crimson Cliffs enough off guard to power forward for a first down.
And a big hit there. Lambert with some help from Clayton War. Get past the first attempted tackler and gets the first down. From 37 now, 1st and 10 for the home team. Full house backfield. Counter play, miss handoff. Ball went to the turf. Luckily for the Tigers, the ball carrier was able to fall on it. That was the first time we've seen that. And they fake the dive to Lambert, then try to do a counter that was that was an ugly play, Burns.
Didn't work out well at all for the Tigers. And that puts them now at about 2nd and 15, 2nd and 14. You know, A2, we have about 10 minutes, 50 seconds left here in this 4th quarter with Hurricane protecting their 2-point lead. It wouldn't surprise me at all if by the time Crimson Cliffs touched the football again, we were around the 5-6 minute mark.
That's right.
These teams both eat up a lot of clock. So what Crimson Cliffs does now on the defensive end, it matters. You might think that 10 minutes, 30 seconds is a good amount of time. In this game, it's not.
I agree with you as Clayton War takes a pitch on the right side, and a big play once again by Harold Hansen to get through 2 blockers and bring him down for a short gain. And good push from Kanohi as well, knocking the blocker back into the ball carrier and allowing Hansen to come in and make the play.
Now here is a big play for the Hurricane Tigers with this 3rd and 13 they got. I mean, we haven't really seen them in this 3rd quarter, even though the passing game kind of unlocked itself towards the end of the half. It hasn't been necessary here in the 3rd, and they haven't really had to use it. But with 3rd and 13, I mean, you kind of try to go back to it, especially in a game that's been as close as this one, or do you stay comfortable on the ground?
Yeah, we'll see. You're going to do a pass. They got Cordova out alone. They're going to throw it up to him. He goes up, makes the catch. I thought maybe he got a little handsy before he caught the ball. But what a job
man.
by Cordova to go up and get that one, Burns.
And if you look over at the Crimson Cliff sidelines, there's a lot of arguments going on for a TV audience as we look at the replay. It certainly looks like Cordova puts hands right in the back of Golder, pushes him forward, and hauls that ball in.
I thought initially it was clear offensive pass interference, but
Right
then on
there.
the replay, I thought the impact his push made didn't even do that
Yeah.
much. So
No, I agree with you.
I'm actually fine with the no call, even though the motion of a push was there. I like keeping the flag in the pocket. Big play there on 3rd down. What a catch by Cordova.
And I like Hurricane airing the ball out.
Here comes the motion right to left. They'll hand it up the middle for no gain. The ball did spurt out. Crimson Cliffs is saying that they got on it, but it's going to stay with the Hurricane Tigers. And it was on the ground for a while there.
It's ever essential right here that Crimson Cliffs really kind of digs their cleats in and gets a stop, because Hurricane's going to be content to throw the ball every couple plays, but continue to just grind out the clock, continue to run the football, as we're already down to 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Starley taking his time in the huddle, goes to the sideline, runs back.
Yeah, I mean, each play they run is basically a minute off the clock. And here comes Starley again. 3 backs in the backfield. Motion man is War. He'll get the pitch. Blocked by Luke Wright on the outside. And War will be stopped for short or no gain on 2nd down.
Yeah, it looks like Harold Handsome, once again, a team captain for Crimson Cliffs, right there in the thick of it. Not a lot of room for War to work with. And right here, Wright has a solid block. It doesn't matter, though, as you have multiple Mustangs closing in on Clayton Ward.
No gain, 3rd and 10. Or 3rd and 11 coming up for the Tigers. We've seen them go to the pass in key situations. It worked last time to Cordova. Will they go for it again? They come in more of a tight formation with Cordova in at tight end. Double tight, 3 backs. Handoff up the middle to Ian Lambert, who gets a decent run of about 3 or 4 yards. Maybe they're trying to set up a 4th down and manageable. And actually, sorry, that was Stratton in at fullback.
I mean, right here, 4th down territory, obviously. I mean, your defense has been stout, though. Do you even consider maybe punting the football, letting your defense go to work? Because right here, you could give Crimson Cliffs a very long field to work with. Or if by going for it, it's risky, I mean, you might be able to continue this drive that's plenty of minutes off the clock, but all at the same time, Crimson Cliffs could end up with the ball near the 45-yard line.
And Coach Hansen looks like he's going to have Starley chill out by him on the sideline and maybe take a timeout last second here and get a play call. Whether they choose to punt and pin or if they go for it here on 4th down is yet to be seen. We'll take a 30-second timeout on ESPN Radio. We'll take the break, be back with the 4th down pivotal play by the Hurricane Tigers right after this 30-second break.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Welcome back, Hurricane High School. Tigers lead 16-14. 6:31 left on the Bloomington Country Club clock. It's 4th and 7. And we'll see what the Tigers are going to do. They're on the Mustangs' 38-yard line. And they're out with their offense. Tight end to the left, wide receiver Cordova to the right, and 3 backs in the backfield. He's going to go straight drop back, looking for Cordova on an out route. Easy pitch and catch for a 1st down. Great offensive play call there by Coach Hansen.
Oh, and we just discussed it earlier. We're like, do you punt? Put this game in the hands of your defense? No, instead, Coach Skyler Miller says, I'm putting this game in the hands of my offense and my star players. Brock Starley finding Raymond Cordova. Not only gets this team near the red zone at about the 23-yard line. It continues to allow the clock to tick away. We're down to 6 minutes, 10 seconds as the clock continues to roll down slowly here in Hurricane. Tigers with a 2-point lead. I love the play call.
16-14 is the lead for the Tigers with 6 minutes left on your one-loss scoreboard. Double tight formation. Here's the handoff to Lambert. He's going to get a couple yards. And they're going to just wind down about 40 more seconds off the clock with a 2-minute lead. It's homecoming. Fans are excited. They're trying to get their first win of the year. Going back, their last win was 2 seasons ago for the Tigers.
And they've put themselves in a great position to get that win tonight. Obviously, down in the red zone now, 2nd down and 8. You have a 2-point lead. Your defense has played fantastic. They've got to the quarterback. Your offense has been productive. Your running game has been stellar. The passing game has been great. Let's see what they do here on 2nd down.
Starley under center, gives it to Lambert again. He's going to spread out to the right and get a big gain. And a 1st down for Ian Lambert.
I love it. Hurricane has been able to get 1st downs in any way they've needed tonight, whether it's been the run game, whether it's been the pass. The Tigers eat a lot of clock time, but they do it effectively. And that's by getting these 1st downs like we see here with Ian Lambert, rumbling, stumbling for 8 yards. Tigers down to the 10-yard line with a chance to try and put this game out of reach for Crimson Cliffs.
A lot of hands on hips for the Mustangs. 1st and 10 from the 10. Here's Lambert. He gets a few yards right up the middle, and Hurricane hustling back to their huddle. They have done well tonight inside the Team D Auto red zone. Check out Team D at teamdautosales.com for big savings. Team D won't be beat, and Jason and Parker are excellent to deal with over on 488 East St. George Boulevard or teamdautosales.com.
AT, as we near 4 minutes, when did Hurricane start this drive? 10:30? 10:30 left remaining.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
This has been about as near perfect, maybe not the most exciting, but about as near perfect of a drive as you could ask for.
2nd and goal. Starley is pressured. He rolls out of the pocket, tries to put it down and run. He'll get to about the 5-yard line. With 3:47 left on the Bloomington Country Club clock and a 2-point lead, the Hurricane Tigers looking to extend it here, but a key 3rd down. 3rd and goal, and you anticipate it's going to be 4 downs because they don't kick the ball ever. And they're going to call a timeout and talk about it. We'll take a timeout as well. 30-second break. Timeout's brought to you by Intercap Lending. 30-second break. Back with 3rd down after this on ESPN Radio.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back. ESPN Radio, your home for Region 9 football. Tonight we got a good one. Hurricane leads the Mustangs of Crimson Cliffs 16-14. They're inside the Mustangs' 5-yard line, looking to extend their lead to a 2-possession game. And here's Starley on 3rd and goal from the 5. He's going to pitch it out to Lambert, who's going to take it outside. Big hit by Harold Hansen, who has been the man for the Mustangs. He stops him dead in his tracks. It'll bring up a 4th down, and a good play design. It was just blown up
and
by the captain.
Harold Hansen right there, he had a blocker all over him. It's not like it was a wide open tackle. He had to push through that blocker to make that stop. Terrific effort. and really a terrific bring down by Hansen. So now it's 4th down, AT. You have a 2-point lead. We know that Hurricane doesn't kick the football. Worst case scenario, you give it back to the Mustangs with them having about 90 yards to go.
That's right, and only 2 minutes and change left, potentially, just depending on when they snap the ball on this play. But I think they're going to wait, drain the clock, and then call a timeout again. You get every last second off that clock. That's what they'll do. It'll be 3:05 left on your one-loss scoreboard for the Tigers, who are facing a 4th down from about the 7-yard line, 4th and goal with a 2-point lead. And we saw last time they called a timeout on a 4th down, or on a 3rd down, Cordova runs that out, and they convert. Beautifully done by the Tigers. Coach Hansen gonna reach into his pocket for another great play, hopefully for Tigers fans here on homecoming.
It wouldn't surprise me at all, especially with the way that it's worked. Hurricane has had 3 straight run attempts down here in the Team D red zone. And I mean, might as well shake it up. Try a pass play. Starley has connected with Cordova once already in the end zone. It was a terrific pass play. It wouldn't surprise me to see if they tried to pull out that exact same play again if Cordova can draw a single coverage from Golder or one of these other Mustang cornerbacks.
Appreciate Intercap Lending, one of our newer sponsors, our timeout sponsor this year. They specialize in no and low money down options, investor loans, first-time home buyers, jumbo loans, retirement, refinance, and many other loan options to help the unique needs of Washington County and surrounding areas. Give Intercap Lending a call today to get a free quote and quick mortgage approval.
Another quick Region 9 update. Snow Canyon has tied Desert Hills at 14. We got a good game out there in Snow Canyon.
Wow. And, Dixie, last I saw, was 31-24 over Cedar, so that was a good one.
It's now 45-30 in favor of the Flyers.
Extended it.
It's kind of turned into a shootout.
4th and goal. Here comes Starley, straight drop back, looking into the end zone to Cordova. Ball goes up high. It's caught! He high points it. Beautiful placement by Starley, and the Tigers are going crazy.
Kanohi was all over that ball. It couldn't have been better placed, and it couldn't have been a better catch. Right here, Starley looks, fires, and this is the hardest catch to make in football. It's at your highest point. You have a cornerback all over the front of you. You're falling back, and Raymond Cordova comes down with another spectacular catch. And the best part about all of that isn't the catch. It's the fact that you literally took 10 minutes off the clock making this scoring drive.
Now, here's what sucks about how not having a kicker. You're up 8. You have to convert. Otherwise, it's still a one-possession game with 2:59 left on the clock. They've made it easy by just running it to Lambert up the middle, but he ain't in there right now. It's Stratton. Here comes the 2-point conversion attempt. They'll give it to Stratton, and he'll get in. That easy.
Wow.
Just a fullback dive.
Hey, I'm going to give you credit right here, AT. You mentioned at the beginning of the 3rd quarter how essential it would be that Crimson Cliffs get some of these 2-point conversion stops, that it could be a big difference in this game. And right here, as Stratton gets into the end zone, it looks like it is going to be the difference in this game.
Yeah, devastating for Mustang fans to watch them get those easy 2-point conversions. Now they have a 10-point lead with 2:59 left on the clock. The referees are huddled up and having a little powwow at about the 5-yard line. And now they will disperse. And what a game for the Tigers. What a moment that was for Cordova to go up and catch that touchdown pass.
And right now, we know that Crimson Cliffs is in a tough spot. We know they have the offensive weapons to make a drive and then to attempt an onside kick and really turn this into a ball game again. But at the same time, similar to Hurricane, Crimson Cliffs hasn't been much more of a fast-paced offense than the Tigers have been. They've kind of ate the clock when they have the ball as well. They move a little slower. Both of these squads are similar in that aspect. And so to see how Crimson Cliffs does when they have to hurry it up, when they have to get moving, when the game's on the line, we might see an entirely different offense right here. We're going to see a lot of different looks than what we saw this entire ball game.
And they're doing some body surfing here in the student section. Lifting up a young man above their heads. And what a experience for these kids potentially to celebrate their first win in a long, long time here on homecoming night in Hurricane, Utah. 2 minutes, 59 seconds left on your Bloomington Country Club clock. The Tigers have a 10-point lead. Mustangs looking to score quick. They got playmakers back to receive, including Curtis Sweeten. And if I'm Cordova, I'm kicking it to the right instead of to the left.
Yeah.
We'll see what he does. He'll kick it down the middle, and somebody that's not Sweeten picks it up. And pretty good return, though, for maybe Gavin Yardley, the little guy.
Yeah, he'll be uprooted at the 28, and that's where Crimson Cliffs will start this drive from with only 2 minutes, 54 seconds remaining. We've talked about how the Mustangs are slower paced. Right now, they got to hustle if they want to get into the end zone and attempt an onside kick.
1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line. They got 2:54 to work with. Hansen with twins to either side. Straight drop back, looking for the out pattern to Sweeten. It's completed. Sweeten gets a few yards after the catch and then gets out of bounds to stop the clock. First down for the Mustangs.
And that's the type of play you want to see. Crimson Cliffs isn't necessarily going to go insanely deep, but you get Sweeten cutting to the left here, making the grab, and then with a beautiful stiff arm right here, just to pick up a couple extra yards before stepping out. Stops the clock, moves you forward, and with 2 minutes, 47 seconds left, Crimson Cliffs trying to do all they can.
And Hansen looking out for Luke Wright, who's already got a hat trick of interceptions, and he's playing that left cornerback position. Hansen looking the other side to Sweeten, incomplete. Big stick. Sand Hollow hit on that right side of that Hurricane defense, and that's Clayton War.
I've been impressed by almost every player tonight really in this Hurricane secondary. They've all stepped up, whether it's been Lambert, whether it's been Cordova, Lemon, War, and of course Luke Wright. They've all had spectacular games against a Crimson Cliffs team that isn't afraid to air it out.
2nd and 10, 2:42 left on the clock. The Mustangs have the ball and they trail by 10 points, 24-14 in the fourth quarter. Here's Hansen. Looking for the screen pass. Gets it to Ammon Smith, who gets brought down hard by Ian Lambert. He had some space, but Lambert closed fast and brought him down short of the line to gain.
The closing speed that we just witnessed from Ian Lambert was unreal. Like you said, Ammon Smith had some room to work with right here. Had some open field, had about 3 linemen in front to throw some blocks. Lambert explodes past the blockers.
Third down.
Stick.
Hurricane brings some heat. Hansen just has to throw it over the head of Gunnar Orr, incomplete. He got hit hard again, and it'll be 4th and 4 with 2:13 left in the game for the Mustangs.
This is the ball game right here.
You got to figure you want to get the ball to Sweeten somehow. They've struggled with some of the intermediate out patterns and slants and stuff like that to complete those. I don't know what your bread and butter play is right now. 4 yards, maybe too long to run it. Maybe that speed option that they like to do, but they don't even have Sweeten in the backfield. You got to figure trips right. They're looking to pass.
I'm expecting Hansen to tuck it and try to pick these yards up himself.
Here's Hansen. Straight drop back. Opts to throw. He's got Sweeten open on that right side, and he's going to have the easy first down. That goes back to that touchdown play in the first half, kind of a wheel route by Sweeten and an easy catch and first down for the Mustangs.
And I'm kind of anxious to see what happened right here because it looks like Clayton Moore completely lost track of where Sweeten was. Hansen had some time to throw. Hurricane, of course, playing the pass, and he just looks like Sweeten had War beat. There's no other way to put it before taking a shot from Ian Lambert downfield.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Here's the Mustangs. They're down 10. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left. Roll out left by Hansen. He's going to throw a interception. He was trying to find Sweeten on the 10-yard out, and it's picked off. The Hurricane Tigers with their 4th pick of the game.
And this one isn't Luke Wright. It's number 23, Clayton War, who has been, although the stats don't show it necessarily, has been impressive all night. Tough pass to throw or to make for Chase Hansen. Rolling to your left, throwing across your body, and War makes the grab, which could potentially give Hurricane, probably will give Hurricane, their first win in quite some time.
Wow. What a play. Ball thrown behind, not the most accurate pass. And Clayton War with the pick. 4 turnovers by the Mustangs offense tonight. give the Tigers the ball at about their own 12-yard line with 1:57 left. They lead 24-14 on your one-loss scoreboard. Wing T formation, fullback up the middle for about 10 inches. It'll be second down, and that clock continues to run away from the Mustangs.
Any player right now who's a part of this Tiger team trying to run the clock dry, they're not concerned about how many yards they get. They're concerned about holding on to that football. You do not want to see that thing on the turf. And a couple times tonight through a little communication error between the quarterback and running back, we've seen the ball on the ground. That's the last thing Hurricane needs. Back deep in their own territory, trying to protect this 10-point lead with 1:17. They're going to be gripping that ball like no other.
And it looks like they're going to call, Hurricane's going to call a timeout after letting the clock wind down. And they've got 3 more downs to kill with 1:09 left. And this has got to be a storm the field situation.
It has to
if you're
be.
the fans of the Tigers, right?
It's your first win in over a year. I mean, it's homecoming night. These fans have been great. They've been rowdy. They've been loud all night from the student section. They already stormed the field once, right? They ran onto the field to raise that banner up. I want to see what it looks like if the Tigers come away with this victory, which is looking ever more likely.
And what a game. I think offensively, the game calling of Nick Hansen in key situations, that last drive where they convert on a big play for a first down, and then that touchdown on 4th down in what was a 2-point game. That's your senior Brock Starley and your senior Ray Cordova stepping up in a huge situation to put the game basically out of reach. And I'm excited for the Tiger fans and Skylar Miller and what they've done here tonight. Handoff goes up the middle for a decent gain, and I think that is number 8, Ian Lambert, who's been great. And they're going to stop the clock. And I'm assuming the timeout was Crimson Cliffs. I wasn't sure if they even had a timeout left. And the referee is pointing up at or maybe it's an official timeout. He's trying to get them to put 1:03 left on the clock, and they will.
56 seconds to go until Hurricane walks away with their first victory in a long time. And you can feel it, AT. You can feel it. This place is ready to explode. These 56 seconds, which are going to turn into 3 minutes, which are are going to, they're agonizing right now for these fans and for these players. And it's great to see because everyone on that field tonight for the Tigers has continued to work. We talked about it earlier on. No one's given up. No one's abandoned ship, even when everything has seemed to go wrong for Hurricane. Tonight they come out, they perform in all aspects of the game. The offense, the run game, the pass game, the defense, the pass rush, the secondary. Everything worked tonight for Hurricane, and they really played one of their better games that we've seen in a handful of years.
3rd and 2. Handoff goes up the middle once again to Lambert. He'll get the first down. That'll be the game. They're going to have to snap it one more time as they reset the chains. And the Hurricane Tigers doing the Tiger Chop here tonight with the band. The band's done a great job.
Is that what it's called, Tiger Chop?
I guess so, according to me. Tigers have had a great game. The fans did a great job. They put it all together for homecoming. And right now, Skylar Miller's got to keep his head on the swivel for the Gatorade bath.
Got the Tiger Chop. I'm more a fan of the pork chop myself.
And the kneel down goes. And that'll be the game. And the PA announcer's saying, wait till after the handshakes to storm the field. Here comes the ice bath
there
for
it
Skylar
is.
Miller. And hopping up and down, the Hurricane Tigers have won for the first time in over a year. going back 2 seasons ago, Skylar Miller's first win with the Tigers. And that's the game, folks. 24-14. We got fireworks for homecoming. What a job Hurricane has put on as fireworks continue to go off in the south end zone. They get the 10-point win. They're shaking hands. There's Gatorade all over the field. And good sportsmanship being shown by the cheerleading crews as they're switching spots. What a game by the Tigers. Congratulations to Coach Skylar Miller. The dance should be a lot more fun this year than last year. We'll take a 2-minute break. We'll be back with the Johnson Pediatrics postgame show. And look at Skylar Miller there for our TV audience. He is sopping wet, Bernsey. And heck, he works out. He's not complaining. He gets to show off the tight.
I was going to say, he looks good.
Shirt, flexing in front of the Mustang crowd. We're going to do a 2-minute break. We'll be back with the Johnson Pediatrics postgame show after this.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look.
For over a century, Dixie State University has been shaping the trailblazers of tomorrow by providing a culture of active learning, active life. With a paradigm of real-world experience mixed with cutting-edge technologies and rich traditions, we provide one of the most affordable educations in the West set against the most stunning backdrop on the planet.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Pediatric dentistry makes it comfortable for your kids to go to the dentist. See why so many are choosing Johnson Pediatrics. Give them a call at 628-0511 and ask for the new patient special. We'll be naming our Dats Trucking Player of the Game here shortly. We'll also be showing some of the highlights of the second half, and there were several big ones that we'll get to here shortly. Bernsey, your take on the big win for the Tigers.
Man, we really got to enjoy a great football game tonight on both sides. But particularly for Hurricane, I mean, they deserve this win. This is something that it's been a while and since Hurricane's been able to really taste victory. And tonight, the entire Tiger Army is down on the field celebrating, taking pictures, yelling, screaming. You should have heard the bleachers when all the fans started to empty out onto the field to celebrate with the team. It's a small victory in the grand scheme of things, but right now it means the world to this Hurricane football team to finally get that monkey off their back. They've won a football game for the first time in over a year, and now they can focus on the rest of the season. It's more about improving yourself day to day than trying to get every single win, and that's what the Tigers will be able to focus on now. And tonight, we were treated to a show. I mean, everything about Hurricane seemed to go right. There were a few miscues here and there, But every category of this team, special teams, defense, offense, play calling, it all worked and it all clicked tonight for Hurricane in the best way as they walk away with their 24-14 win over Crimson Cliffs.
You're listening to the Johnson Pediatrics post-game show. Stay tuned for the Dad's Trucking Player of the Game. If we have the highlights ready, let's go ahead and roll those now. Some key plays in the second half by the Hurricane Tigers offensively to push them over the edge, both throwing the ball and running the ball. We'll be naming our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game as well. See the boys at AWP, the #1 playmakers in the appliance business. GE and Samsung Appliances located across from the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart. Save money at AWP. Here's the big throw from Starley to Luke Wright, who had 3 interceptions and a big catch in the second half for a big first down.
And he was also effective running the football on the ground. A couple of carries for Luke as we see Starley right here throw it down. This catch was phenomenal by Raymond Cordova. At first looked like offensive pass interference. In reality, was a great catch.
This was a 4th down loft into the end zone. Cordova jumps up and gets it. That's definitely a candidate.
An even better catch.
Yeah, an even better catch for the play of the game. Cordova was the man tonight at the receiver position. And then Hansen rolling out left, trying to make something happen. Intercepted by
Clayton Moore.
Clayton Moore. There you are, Burns.
I mean, we're so used to saying that Luke Wright got all the interceptions that it's kind of tough to remember that other players in this Hurricane secondary were huge.
There's a great shot of the ice bath. And the gang jump up and down. Celebration with Skylar Miller, who gets his first victory as a Hurricane Tiger. Thanks to our CEC TV staff. Great job, as always, shooting the pictures for us tonight. Let's quickly name. We got to get to our Region 9 Live wrap-up show, so we'll say goodbye to our TV audience, and we'll go down and we'll keep our radio audience with Jacob back in the studio. But let's quickly name our Dad's Trucking Player of the Game, Burns. What do you think? So many options tonight.
There really is. I mean, Brock Starley played incredibly well for most of the night. Raymond Cordova, some clutch catches. Clayton War, great offensively, great defensively. Lambert was good. But there's no other direction to go, really, than with Luke Wright. I mean, this is a guy who had some key catches on the offensive end, some solid ground gains, but in all reality, he had a 3-interception game. 3 interceptions, having to guard one of the toughest receivers in Region 9 this year in Ammon Smith. He matched him step by step. His physicality, his speed, Luke Wright was everywhere and forced Chase Hansen into multiple errors for Crimson Cliffs, and it eventually won the game for the Hurricane Tigers. You got to go with Luke Wright and his stellar defensive performance.
Congratulations to Luke Wright, your Dad's Trucking Player of the Game. Dad's Trucking is your quality service carrier, running strong since 1988. Fuel up and grab a snack at Ernie's 2 Sinclair Station at the top of the boulevard, delivering your Dad's Trucking Player of the Game all season long. All right, time for the AWP Playmaker Play of the Game, Burnsy. I'll defer to you on this. There was 3 or 4 big ones.
You know, this is another tough one, but 2 touchdowns caught tonight by Raymond Cordova. The second was the most impressive. We saw it on our CEC TV highlight reel right there. Cordova, defender in his face, catching it at his highest point, somehow coming down with it. This is when Hurricane had a 2-point lead. If they didn't score right here, then Crimson Cliffs would get the ball back. Correct? It was on a 4th down. And the Crimson Cliffs would get the ball back and a chance to march down the field and win. Instead, Cordova hauls in the grab and secures the win for the Hurricane Tigers. Raymond Cordova's grab in the right corner of the end zone to seal the game. That's my playmaker play of the game.
All right, congratulations to Ray Cordova. Big catch to seal the deal for the Tigers. We're going to say goodnight to our CEC TV audience and streaming audience. Great job, as always, and a big win for the Hurricane Tigers here at home for homecoming, 24-14. They beat the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. For our radio audience, stay tuned for Region 9 Live, brought to you by Coral Desert Orthopedics.